Okay. Um, for the West, number 10, I have the Portland Trailblazers. I think that Damian Lillard coming back healthy is going to be great for them. And just me picking them 10th, it doesn't mean that I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, because I think having a guy like Dame, you're very capable to win a couple games like in the play-in tournament. But I still think they lack like a lot of pieces, but they're going to be better than they were last year, health permitting. I like the addition of Jeremy Grant. I wish he was on like a contending team, Lakers. I wish he was on a contending team to offer his services, but I like that pickup. I'm a huge fan of Anthony Simons. He's like a baby. He's like a baby Dame to me in a way. But I don't see anything that can put them in the upper echelon as contenders, because it's kind of like, okay, you got rid of CJ and you kind of got another CJ and Anthony Simons. So, I don't know. They still got Nurkic there, who's nobody scared of him in the paint, So, I still think having that superstar like Dame, is going to propel them to at least the play-in.
Jeremiah, you can go with your 10th.
At 10, I got the Blazers as well. For a lot of the same reasons. Like, Dame's going to be back, so they'll be better than they were last year. But I'm kind of in the same place as Desto. It's like, okay, you lost CJ, but then you're hoping Anthony Simons comes into that role. You didn't really add anybody else of significance outside of Jeremy Grant, who I love. I love that addition. And I think some of this is too. I think the West is going to be nasty up there. So I just think now I'm also on this that they can win a play-in game too. Like, that wouldn't surprise me for Dame to go crazy for a couple games and they sneak into the playoffs. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But I got the Blazers at 10 as well.
I got the Blazers at 10 as well for the same reasons. I think Dame being back is going to put them at least in the conversation to make the playoffs. Jeremy Grant was a big pickup. They lost McCollum in the trade, of course. I don't know if Anthony Simons, he could probably fill that role, but I still don't think that's going to elevate them to a secure playoff position in the Western Conference. It's just way too many good teams out there. It's going to take a Herculean effort from Dame. We're going to have to see Dame do what he did 3 years ago. I don't know if he can do that. I don't know if he can do that again, I should say. But yeah, I'm still going to put them right there at the 10th spot for that play-in potential. But I'm not too high on the Blazers. I don't think anybody is right now. I feel like they're very close to being a team that blows it up coming up. I'm gonna be honest. I think they're like a few years or maybe less than that from rebuilding. Dame being out of there, or Dame, I don't know, sticking around for I don't know what he's doing out there. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna put the Blazers at the 10th spot as well.
Yeah, I also agree with all you guys. I got Portland 10, for many of those same reasons. I feel like Dame, a lot of people forget how good he is. I feel like he's going to show, he's still, Damian Lillard, but, the supporting cast around him it's straight, but it's not, where he can be, win a lot of games and, be a Western contender. But, Jeremy Grant's a good addition. They have, Anthony, who I like a lot. Tom is a really good player, but I don't think they're going to be.
Hey, see, I want to cut you off, but Jeremy Pena just hit a home run at the top of the 18th. Top of the 18th.
You know, we about to sweep the boys, bring them out, man. You know what I'm saying?
And then we got that bad man coming up. I ain't even cut you off, but I'm a little excited.
But yeah, I got Portland. I mean, they got young guys who play hard, show a lot of heart, but it's not gonna be enough to do nothing in the West.
I feel you. I got you. So, man, this West is crazy.
I feel like we're gonna have the most disagreements in the West. On the East, we pretty much were one standing off for the most part.
Hey, bro, not to cut you off, bro. I think I should get my 9th out the way, so y'all can just. I don't know, but I was up on
you go ahead. See, we can actually go a
real quick, bro.
I don't want the pressure on. We can go separate times. So Cece, you can go, then Drew, then
Jeremiah.
Get this
out the way so y'all can eat. If y'all want to get on my ass, I can. But for the ninth, I have Memphis, bro. I have Memphis ninth. I'm not really like I don't want to say I'm not big on Ja. I feel like Ja is good, but Ja is overrated to me. Like I like Ja is good, but I just don't feel like they gonna have that season they just had where they caught everybody off guard. And then Triple J is hurt again. They say he's supposed to miss like
Yeah, the
2
surgery.
to 3 months of the beginning of the season. And then they don't have like they have good role players, but they lost 2 great role players in D'Anthony and Kyle Anderson. So and they both played pretty good defense. I like Desmond Baines and Dylan and those guys. But I don't feel like they come from to be like a crazy in that top range where they like could possibly be like Western contenders. And again, I love Jabbar in his game. I just feel like it's a lot of the media. Like the guy's good, but he's not like for them to have him top 10 in the NBA. Like, come on, let's be real, bro. I love him. Like he's like one of us, but it's probably a hot take. People probably gonna get on me by Memphis, at least right now.
I'm not gonna get on you too much. I mean, I disagree. I think they're definitely gonna be a playoff team. But I can see the logic maybe that they're gonna miss Jaren Jackson for 2 months at least. So you said 2-3 months. But one of the things for me is I know that last year they had Ja miss so many games and they still were a really good team. And they were it was like a rare thing for your best player, he's their best player. Your best player to miss so much time and for them to still have such a good record, but also like a better winning percentage without him than they did with him, which is crazy, right? And it wasn't like 10 games; it was like 20, 30, like it was like 20 plus games, right? So I feel like that's going to be that's something that showed me something that their coaching is legit, and that I don't want to. I'm gonna still have them like securely in the playoffs, but I understand.
I had them fifth at first, Drew, but I couldn't sleep last night. I was just like, and then a lot of it's just been LA, it's my team.
But I do understand
my
logic because like last year they kind of came out of nowhere in a way like nobody expected them to be as good as they were last year. Ja took a leap that people weren't probably expecting him to take at that moment. I think he's a little bit overrated. I don't think that he's a for sure top 10 player, which some people are putting him as. I don't think that's 100% clear right now.
Yeah.
But so I understand that they could take a step back because people are they're not going to be surprising anybody this year, right?
Yeah, Memphis fans, I'm sorry, but I had y'all fifth, but don't come DMing me or sending me death.
For me, the ninth spot is New Orleans, the Pelicans. I still think they're going to be a playing team. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, this was crazy. This was
Wow.
Yeah. I still think they're gonna be a playing team. Like you got to prove it to me, right? Last year they were what? They were the 10th seed as the playing team.
Yeah,
right?
10th seed. No, they were ninth. They were ninth.
They were ninth. Okay, but yeah. So last
year
year
they had the home game versus San Antonio.
So last year they were still a playing team. They ended up winning and getting into the play. And they gave the Suns a pretty good series with Devin Booker being out, right? I think Zion is in much better shape. Don't get me wrong; he looks great now, but I still got to see him play a full season. Like he's literally only played one season of basketball. Like if we're really being honest, like he really only played like one season, right? He got to show me he can stay healthy over the course of a season, and I got to like see some consistency from them on both sides of the basketball. Like I don't trust them as a team right now. I don't see I know people are putting them as like a team that could be a surprise top 4 seed, which I don't know if any of y'all have them up there. Because I know they do have the talent. Like they have McCollum, they have Ingram, and Zion is looking like he could be one of those guys if he can stay on the court.
Yeah, still got Herb Jones.
I feel like they got to prove it to me, and so I'm still putting them at the 9th spot for the Pelicans.
Okay, we gonna get to the Pelicans later because 9 is wild to me, but we gonna get to them later. At 9, people are not gonna like this. I got the Lakers. I just don't. This basketball team. Here's my thing with the Lakers. It's not a talent issue. Obviously, they got 2 of the 15 best basketball players in the world. When I watch this basketball team play, they just don't give a damn enough for me. Like they just no second efforts. You know, they played they've looked pretty bad in the preseason. Even with the last 2 games, LeBron and AD have played, and they, played a lot of their starters, and they still didn't look that great. Like, I don't know, they don't have enough give a damn for me. Hot take though, I do think LeBron's going to win his scoring title this year. So I don't think this is going to be a LeBron issue. Because we got to remember, last year before LeBron got hurt, him and Embiid was kind of jostling back and forth for it anyways.
Yeah.
So I think if LeBron can stay healthier this year, especially with Harden and Philly, if he's better, then presumably Embiid's not going to need to average 30 for them to win games. So, and I think for this Lakers team to win, let's say 40 games, LeBron's going to need to be near the top of the league in scoring. So I do have them winning the scoring title. I don't think it's a LeBron issue. Obviously, Anthony Day-to-Day Davis, I have no idea how many games this man is going to play. That's a concern. But yeah, this team doesn't have enough give a damn for me. I just watching them play, I'm like, y'all don't even want to be here. And the whole Russ thing, like they're talking about him coming off the bench now. Is Russ gonna want to do that? Like, is that gonna fester? Like, are they gonna have locker room problems? Like, I just feel like there's a ton of uncertainty. Even in the games that all 3 of those guys played last year, I think they played like 24 games together last year. They played 500 basketball. Like, they haven't given me any reason to believe that they're going to be much better than they were last year.
I got the Lakers. They my team.
Just to be an objective over here. Okay.
I really hope I'm wrong. And I hope some type of way we can figure out this whole Russ situation. We can maintain our health, or we can get people to buy in. Maybe Austin Reeves can take a jump, but it's just like, other than LeBron and AD. Well, AD, I put a little quotations about him because of his health. I have like other questions about this roster, and like I'm going head over heart right now, and I'm going with the Lakers 9th. Now, that isn't to say the Lakers, because I, like, in a play-in game or situation, anything, I won't bet against LeBron and AD, because like when healthy in a playoffs like series, they only had like one playoff run together, but they've never lost, when they've been healthy. So, those two are the best players in the league. I think when healthy, they're the best duo in the league. And in a single game scenario, like how the play-in tournament is, they can very well get in the playoffs. But I don't see them having like a super great regular season. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But we'll see how it works out.
Lisa, who you got for number 9?
You see someone. Oh yeah, so it's my go again.
You started. Yeah.
It's my go again. So for 8th, I got the Phoenix Suns. I think that a huge part of being a successful team that they were, I don't know if Cecil went somewhere, but a huge part of the reason that they were a successful team is the fact that they had great chemistry, they had great camaraderie. The coaches and the players were like this. You can see that they had like so much fun together. And I think the only piece that they lost JaVale McGee, who was an important rim protector for them, and they no longer have Jay Crowder in rotation because they're looking for a trade. And the whole DeAndre Ayton thing is pretty wild, because he said he hasn't even he didn't speak to his coach since that last playoff game. And even and he said that in media day, and I'm like, that's pretty. And he got the contract. Of course, he's gonna get the contract because they don't want to lose him for nothing to Indiana. But yeah, I just feel like a huge part of being a good team like they have been the past couple of years, especially last year, is team camaraderie and with themselves and the coach. And I think that there'll still be a playoff team. I still got them 8th, so they can still get into the play-in or whatnot. But I don't see them being as good, especially with the Clippers coming back healthy, the Nuggets coming back healthy, the Warriors coming back healthy. That's a big reason why for the Suns' success the past couple of years, if we're being honest. They made the finals because teams were unhealthy. They made the number one seed because teams were unhealthy. Now I don't want to just take away their dang, they are leaving. I don't want to take away their their success or anything, but that's just what it is. Like I see them falling down a lot actually.
Man, let's hold off a little bit until they get back in because.
Okay.
But that was a wild take for me. But no, to me, I mean, if my Pelicans take was wild, I feel like your son's take is wilder, but we gonna see.
There's just one playoff seed, but you can look at it like the Pelicans down there beat them without their best player, in a way.
I mean, they didn't have Booker though, as well.
It's true.
Like
True.
most of
Booker
the
did
series,
miss some time. But
I mean,
it's just like I feel like I don't know. I'm pretty high on the Pelicans.
Man, I'm back. I'm sorry. I got booed once again.
Hold up, Cecil. Hold up.
Sorry,
He already went.
Destin just gave his 8th pick as a Suns. Is that not wild to y'all? Like, I mean, to me, like the Pelicans pick, the Pelicans being 9th is crazy.
I've been saying that too, though.
Hold up. The Pelicans pick at 9th is crazy, but the Suns, who won 64 games last year, is going to be the 8th seed.
Yeah, I'm projecting.
I mean, okay. But like,
I don't have them too much higher than that, to be honest.
Because I'm like, I know that they had the racist owners going to have to sell his team. I know that. But is that really
going to mention that too?
Yeah. I know they had the thing with DeAndre Ayton. I think he's going to he might get traded. Who knows? Like, that's going to be up in the air. Like, it's clearly something that's hostile going on with that. Like, he's not happy there. But like, to go from the number 1 seed clearly all the way to barely in the playoffs, I don't know about that drop off right there. But for me, and this, y'all probably gonna have a problem with this. I don't know. We're gonna see. But for me, the 8th seed, I have the Dallas Mavericks. And I know, and the reason why is because I know Luka's gonna carry them. He's gonna get them to the playoffs. I think if they get in the playoff playing game or whatever, I think he's gonna be able to get them in at the 8th spot. I still question like losing Jalen Brunson. I don't know if they really improved there by picking up Christian Wood. Like, I know he's going to help them as far as scoring off the bench, but I really don't like his defense as far as that's why they have him coming off the bench, I think, is because of how much of a question mark he is on the defensive end. I feel like the West got so much better this year. I don't know if they're going to be able to, what were they, the 5th seed last year, I believe?
Yeah, they were 5th and Utah was 4th.
Yeah. And Utah's completely not going to make the playoffs this year. So they out of there. But I just I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a lot to ask for Luka this year, and I feel like the West is going to be stronger than they were last year. And I feel like and I know that y'all had the Lakers at 9th, but I feel like the Lakers are going to be stronger as well than they were last year, like significantly. Significantly compared to what they were last year, anyways. So
yeah, you know they got Russell, right? You can always be good.
Yeah, if they didn't have Russell, I might have them a little bit higher, actually. But no.
Was that Drew 8? Was Dallas, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I had Dallas. Yeah.
I had them there, but I ended up having LA, the Lakers. Yeah, so I have us there. Man, I don't know how to feel about that. It's not too much really I can speak on because Russell is my guy, but I don't feel like he fits in LA. Like I kind of wish that trade with Buddy and with Indiana did go through because they would have changed the game like tremendously for LA. But I don't know, man. Hopefully, like it can work. Some can work, but right now I'm just like at a crossroad. I don't know what's gonna go. I don't know if Russell gonna wake up a Laker or not. He gonna get traded or like. I just don't know. I'm praying and hoping that we be good. But hey, I got them at 8.
All right.
Hey, man, it sucks. We be having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I don't know what's going
Without
on.
that, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Hey, we won out. We won all the way, man. Won all the way.
Bro, you really go for this night, bro?
Bro, look, this is my thing, bro. I think we lack
One more out.
depth on the wings. We have too many freaking guards. Like, bro, like this is wild.
Man, I'm kind of happy that Drew don't got us 10th or something. I was kind of relieved that Drew didn't have us bad luck.
Now I think like we nice, but I don't care. Like if we got LeBron and AD healthy, I still won't bet against won't bet against in the play-in. Now I wouldn't bet against us in the playoffs. I don't know. I would never bet against LeBron. Like from after 2011, the guy he turned to be, I won't bet against him. I'm gonna just say that. But we'll see.
I'm be honest. I'm shocked that y'all had them. I mean, I'm shocked that Destin had them at 9.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think that's a bad.
I have to talk to him.
I don't think a pick is wrong or bad. I think that it could happen. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I just didn't expect him to be that low on them.
Yeah.
But yeah,
At 8, I got the Memphis Grizzlies. So a couple years ago, Jaren Jackson missed a bunch of time, like he's likely to this year. And they were around this area. They were in that playing game. I think they lost to the Warriors or something, or played the Warriors in the playing game. And then last year, I thought Jaren Jackson should have won Defensive Player of the Year because last year they came back all of a sudden. They're top 5 defense. I think they were the 5th best defense in the league last year. Obviously they had a bunch of success without Ja. So I think they anchor your defense, best defensive player on the roster is going to miss the first couple months. Like Cecil was talking about, a couple rotation players that were super key because I watched every second of that Memphis-Minnesota series. DeAnthony Melton and Kyle Anderson were giving us hell. And lost both of those guys. And so I said, and the West is in a place this year, to me, where if you start slow, you might sink. Like if they come out these first 2 months with no Jaren Jackson and that defense is 20th, 21st, 22nd, like it was a couple years ago when he was missing time, they start playing, 400 basketball, something like that. Like they might dig themselves a hole that'll be tough to get out of. Yeah, so I end up having them at 8. I think that they will end up winning the playing game and making the playoffs, but I do got him at 8.
Yeah, Jerry Jackson Jr. As a defensive player, it actually wasn't a bad pick either. Because I don't think Marcus Smart really. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think he should have gotten it. Because
me neither.
I think that it was more of a narrative based thing because he's always been considered like one of those.
Yeah.
He's been considered like the best perimeter defender in the league for a few years now, probably like more than a few years, and he's never really gotten that I guess recognition as being like the number. I mean, he's gotten all NBAs, but I feel like the whole thing was driven by a narrative because he wasn't even their most impactful defensive player on the team. It was Robert
Williams.
Yeah. And so I don't think that was a bad pick at all. As far as because I guess we can move on to the 7th. We all did our 8th picks, right? So onto the 7th pick. For me, 7th seed, I have the Lakers. So I'm not too far off from y'all. I do think that they're going to be in the playoffs, but I don't think that it's going to be a clear separation between those last 7, 8, 9 teams as far as standing goes. I'm expecting maybe we get hopefully 60-plus games out of AD at least. I feel like if we get that, that's going to be a huge difference maker. If what Jeremiah said happens, which is LeBron leads the league in scoring, that's going to be a really bad sign. If LeBron is leading the league in scoring, you can just pretty much say the Lakers are going to be a bad team. Because if he's having to do that, that means AD is probably missing a lot of time. Because AD to me should be their leading scorer, or it should be really close. I think no matter of fact, no, AD should be their leading scorer. LeBron should be like, I'm not saying he should be like to the level of what Harden's doing, but it should be something more like that, right?
Yeah.
As far as like the shot and points per game distribution or whatever. But so hopefully that's not happening, because if that's happening, then that means that LeBron's doing a lot of heavy lifting like he was last year, and they probably struggling to win a lot of games. But I do think the AD is going to at least be relatively healthy, at least 60 games, which is going to be a huge difference for them. I expect LeBron to like nip this little injury thing he's been dealing with a few years. He's been getting like a little bit of an injury bug. He hasn't been out for entire season, but he's been missing some notable time. I feel like that's going to hopefully not happen again this year. And as far as the Russ thing goes, that's why I have him 7th. Right? I'm not going to be so high on him. I don't believe in Russ as a fit on this team. I never did when they got him. And now that he's going to be experimentally coming off the bench, and now he pulled his hamstring, there's just so many question marks with Russ. Is he even going to be on the team by the trade deadline? Who knows? All right. If he's not on the team, they pull off one of these trades that we saw rumored, then that could raise their ceiling. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lakers as the 7th seed.
Well, I go 7th. I have Dallas 7th. No, Pelicans. I'm sorry. I have Pelicans 7th. I have New Orleans 7th right now. I was torn between 2 with them and Dallas, but I ended up going with New Orleans. I feel like the addition of CJ is pretty good, but it doesn't make them like, you know, like their defense. They have like Herb Jones and those guys who can, the little pesky like guy Jose off the bench. But I feel like they'll be a good team. I don't know. Well, I hope that Zion's going to be like, you know, the player that he was scoring the ball before he got the injury and he can stay on the court. But yeah, with 7, I have New Orleans.
New Orleans, okay. Not a bad pick. My 7th though, I got Memphis. I think they're gonna be. They're gonna take a step back. For a couple reasons. The Jaren Jackson Jr. injury is huge, and the fact that they really broke out last year, and I think that teams are going to be like more prepared for them now. Like I still think I still like their pieces in Bane and Brandon Clark, who really stepped up against. I think Brandon Clark is going to step into a role similar role Jaren Jackson played. He really stepped up against Minnesota when they played in the playoffs. Steven Adams still there. They still got Tyus Jones, who's one of the best backup point guards in the league, if not the best. A guy who has like the best, I think, in his assist to turnover ratio in the league, who I really like. But I think they are going to fall off a bit. I think they were 3rd seed last year. I think they're going to fall off a bit just for those few reasons. I think yeah, they were 2nd seed.
Yeah, they're 2nd seed.
Yeah, they sure were. I think they're going to fall off a bit just because Ja is, they just have like some film on them, and I don't think they're going to catch people by surprise anymore. Even though I still think they have a good coach and they have a great roster, the West is just deep, and people are a lot more healthy this year. Now we'll see. Like, of course, all these predictions are predicting that these teams are going to be healthy and everything, but
or not. Because
that's kind of how mine is, but but I got Memphis. I got Memphis 7.
Hold up, Destin though. So you got your Lakers at the 9th seed, and you think they're all going to stay healthy too. So you have them that low, even with a fully healthy season from AD.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Okay. All right.
Because. I mean,
so you really low on them.
I hope I'm wrong, but I'm if I would have said the Lakers were like a top 5 seed, I'll be picking like from my heart type. But I don't know. Now I still want to pick against. Like I still think there'll be a play-in team, and like these days, play-in is all that matters. But yeah, so that's why I got it. Now I think if they play the Suns. Whoever they play 10th, they can beat them. Portland, if they play Portland, they can beat them. If they play Memphis and Phoenix, who I got 7th and 8th, they can beat them. Wait, did I say my 8th? Yeah, 8th was Phoenix, right?
Yeah. Your 8th is Phoenix, yeah. Which is wild to me, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I got.
I only have the Lakers. I have the Lakers at 7, so it's not like too high a difference, but yeah.
Yeah. So we're going with 6 now, right?
No. Jeremiah has no 7.
Oh, okay.
Jeremiah,
The 7, I got the Mavs. To be totally honest with you, I don't like the Christian Wood for Jalen Brunson swap. I don't like it at all. I think, if anything, you needed to go the other direction and get somebody who's better than Jalen but can still take the ball out of Luka's hands as a ball handler. Like, that's one of the things that I didn't like about the Mavs the few years before was Luka. His usage was way too high. He was handling the ball every possession, making every single decision in the half court. And I think they're going to be right back to that. I don't like
it. Might be higher now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a championship formula. That's not a formula for like a great team. And Christian Wood, I like. I think people are going to find out he's probably not quite as good as maybe some people think. But I think he will be better next to Luka. He's never played with a Luka Doncic before either. So I think offensively, I think he's probably going to be fine. Maybe 18-10, 18-9, somewhere in that. I think defensively, he's going to be a problem. Ultimately, this team is a Luka Doncic injury away from being in the lottery, in my opinion. So
yeah.
Oh, missing the playoffs, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I like Luka. I don't really like much else.
Understandable.
So yeah, 6 seed. All right, so 6 seed for me is Memphis. So I don't have them in that home court advantage top 4 seed level, but I do think they're going to take a step back because missing Jared Jackson is going to hurt them. They're going to be down defensively probably early this season. I still don't want to knock them all the way down to like 8th or 9th because I think their coaching has just been so good this past season, and I'm a believer in Taylor Jenkins as a coach now. He's sold me on that. So I'm going to still have them as a pretty, I guess, what solidified playoff team because they're not going to be in the play-in. So 6 seed. So I'm going with the Grizzlies as the 6th seed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my 6th seed, I have the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, I didn't love the Jalen Brunson for Christian Wood swap, but I mean, I still like it. I like the fact that they got somebody who can help on the boards, help just continue to space the floor out for Luka. Somebody who can run the pick and roll and pick and pop with him effectively, and a guy who can get you a bucket. Just like they got somebody who can go get you a bucket too if Luka isn't there, and they still got Spencer Dinwiddie. And I think a lot of something that a lot of people aren't talking about is the return of Tim Hardaway Jr. The fact that he wasn't there last year at the end of the season, and he was like the best player, the second best player a year ago in the playoffs when they went against the Clippers. Like he was a beast, and he's gonna somebody else who can play very well with Luka, who can get you a bucket, space the floor, play good defense, do things of that nature. And I think Luka being arguably a top 5 player right now in the league, somebody who's only getting better. I like Jason Kidd as a coach, and I like the addition of JaVale McGee as well. He's going to help tighten up their defense, and that's why I got number 6. I got Dallas.
I go next. I agree with this, and I have Dallas at the 6th spot. I mean, I'm not too big also like on the addition of Christian Wood, but I do think it'll like help offensively with like scoring and also like rebounding. The JaVale McGee pick, which I also think gonna hurt Phoenix, but that's gonna help Dallas in a big way. He can rebound, he can rim protect, he can.
So yeah, we all had them at 8. Y'all had them at 6, and Jeremiah had them at 7. One thing on them, and I don't know if y'all are going to agree with this or not, but they remind me a lot in how this team's starting out with Luka of like the early James Harden Rockets, right? Like when Harden first got there, those first few seasons, and the way they're playing basketball as well around Luka, it reminds me how the Rockets were playing around Harden. Where like it was very like all dominant, one guy controlling the ball, passing out to guys in the corners and dominating high usage. And it reminds me, I feel like this season is going to kind of be similar to that 2016 season when the Rockets were like 8th seed. Harden was averaging like 29 points a game, trying to do everything. They signed Ty Lawson as a big pickup, right? That was a big pickup. Y'all remember Ty Lawson?
Yeah.
They thought, oh my God, we got a huge guard to help Harden with the playmaking duties, right? Right? He's gonna because Ty Lawson was actually pretty good, but we suddenly found out he was washed by the time the Rockets got him, right? He played like I think a couple seasons after that, and he's out the league. But they picked him up to be like what they ended up getting from Chris Paul was what they were hoping to get from Ty Lawson, which I know was wild to say that, right? But yeah, when they picked him up in 2016, that was their big offseason pickup, and they barely made the playoffs. And the only reason why they made it was because Harden carried the team on his back, right? That was the highest usage he had. That wasn't the first year where he was like just doing everything like as far as like offensively, right? I feel like Luka's going to be close to like leading the league in scoring this year. He's going to be. I think that's the highest usage he's going to be. If he's not going to get it, he's going to be like 2 or 3, right? And I don't think that's going to be a good thing for them. I think it's going to be so yeah. That's I just want to touch on that because yeah, I do think that they remind me a lot of those Harden Rockets, especially like 2015, 2016 around there. But yeah, so Jeremiah, who's your 6th seed?
My 6th seed, I got Phoenix.
Okay.
I agree with a lot of what you guys said. Yeah, I agree with what a lot of you guys said. I think the DeAndre Ayton situation is a mess at best. The Crowder situation, who knows who he's going to get traded for. I thought he was a really important piece for them these last couple of years. CP3 is a year older. I don't know. I think the way they flamed out in the playoffs, typically, like in NBA history, like there's a reputation for when you're like those great teams like that, like 60 games, 60 wins, all that first seed, and then you kind of get embarrassed the following year. You come right back down to earth a lot of the time. So I think they're going to take a step back. I don't have them missing the playoffs or anything. I think they're going to be a 6th seed. They're going to make it outright. I don't think they'll be in a play-in or anything. But combine the DeAndre situation with the Jay Crowder situation with, their second best player. I don't know if it's CP3, first best player, second best player, one of the two. I think he's going to take a step back. I think those 3 things are going to combine. And the West got better. So I got them at the 6th seed.
Oh, who's it's on you, Drew? Or?
Oh yeah. So 5th seed, I got Minnesota. Got the T-Wolves, which is a jump up from last year. Like they're not going to be in the play-in, obviously. Rudy Gobert, I think, was a big pickup. I still have a lot of question marks on how it's going to work and how it's going to look over the course of the season, especially in the playoffs. But we ain't talking about playoffs right now. We're just talking about regular season. So I do think they're going to be a top 5 seed. My biggest question as far as that pairing is how is Cat going to look defensively guarding fours over the course of the season? I feel like that's the biggest problem. Like we talked about Rudy Gobert's defense and how teams like to stretch him out and have him guard small ball 5s and other stretch bigs, but like we're going to have to see Cat guarding like wings. Or I don't know how they're going to do that exactly because some of these matches.
A lot of teams don't play big, so he's probably going to be guarding like a 3 that plays the 4. Team.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I know that they're trying to go like probably with like the game plan of what the Lakers kind of did, I think, in 2020 with Dwight and AD.
JaVale McGee.
And JaVale McGee like playing really big and trying to basically dominate the glass. Because I mean, they should win the rebounding battle every single game, pretty much. They should. And maybe they'll get extra possessions to make up the difference in what they're going to be giving up from 3 potentially. But one of the reasons why I have them also being like at the 5 seed and being that close to upper echelon team is because Anthony Edwards. I'm going to say it right now. Well, let me wait till Jeremiah gets second here. But I'm going to say it. I think that Anthony Edwards is going to be a first-time All-Star this year. I think that's going to be my pick probably if I had to say first-time All-Star. It's going to be close. It's going to be tough out west to make it. But if I had to make a prediction on who's going to make it, I think that hasn't made it before. I think it's going to be him. I can see him like taking a jump and scoring, but his efficiency should get better. Like I don't see him like shooting as poorly. I don't think he shot bad, but I don't see him shooting as poorly as he did last year. Like he's very streaky as a shooter, right? I feel like he's going to show a lot more consistency this year as far as being a shooter from 3. but yeah, I think the Gobert addition is going to be big for them in the regular season. They're going to be a better defensive team. I think they should be, hopefully, like at least if not top 10, above average defensively. So yeah, I'm 5th seed Minnesota Timberwolves, and Jeremiah. On the Timberwolves, I also have. 'Cause I know that you're a Minnesota fan. I have Anthony Edwards as a first-time All-Star. So we're gonna see. I think he's gonna start to show that potential, like seriously show it this year.
I actually
that's my 5th seed.
First time All-Star too. I think.
Yeah.
I mean that make 3 of us. I think he's gonna make that jump.
Wait,
and I got
wait, that make 4. I got
we all high on Ant. We all high on Anthony. Yeah, he a beast, and I'm just like Drew. I got Minnesota 5th. I didn't like the Rudy Gobert trade only because I think it makes him better, but that's a huge trade for somebody who I don't think puts them over the top. To invest so much, invest so many draft picks. Vanderbilt, who I like, he come out of he's from Houston.
Yeah.
Somebody who I really like. I mean, you get a generational defender, get somebody who has experience, who's gonna help you out. But I just don't like Rudy Gobert's contract. I don't know, and it's gonna be. I just didn't love it. I don't say I don't like it, but I just don't love it. But I do think they're going to be a really good regular season team. Like Drew said, Anthony Edwards, I think he's going to make a leap. He may end up being their best player. People gonna have the conversation with him and Cat, I believe, at the end of this season. I think he's going to be a beast. I've been hearing people been raving about how stronger he looks. He already was like a tank. He just has to work on his efficiency. I think he's going to buckle in more defensively. I like the Kyle Anderson pickup, slow mo from Memphis, and they still have Torian Prince, I believe.
Yeah, they re-signed Torian.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but they re-signed Torian. Yeah, so then they still have a good team in place. I think they're going to start Jaden McDaniels at the 3, who's a 6'10" defensive wing.
I don't know how you tried to get him, bro. How you not ask for him?
Utah is trying to be bad.
They're trying to get Wemby. They're trying to get Wembanyama.
But for the future, though, would you want to have McDaniels, though, brother? I'm saying, even though you finna tank this season,
I like McDaniels. Yeah, McDaniels is he's a problem, especially on both ends. He can, and I even saw him when they played the Lakers game. You can always see I already see some improvement and some confidence growing with him. He's gonna help them out, but ultimately, I want to just say they're not making the finals or something, but I just don't think the Rudy Gobert trade puts them over the top. I think it kind of puts them in the ballpark that the Jazz were in a couple years ago. It kind of replaces, they kind of flip flop, in a way. But we'll see. I mean, if maybe it's not just this season, because next season Ant can make another leap. He can become a superstar, and you still got K, you still got D'Angelo Russell, who I really like. But yeah, I think they're going to be a really good team, and I got them 6. Fifth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fifth. But one thing on Ant, I think that because I agree with you, I think that he needs to become their best player, and I think he eventually will be. I don't think he's going to be that yet. And so I think that for them to be a legit contender, he has to be clearly their best player, right? And I don't know if he's going to be that this season. So that's why I'm still going to have him at the 5th spot. I still got to see him probably grow a little bit more, develop, be consistent, as far as that jump shot goes, that 3-point shot. And he definitely improved last year from 3 big time. But yeah, I think that if he becomes their clear best player this season, then yeah, that could change a lot of things as well. But right now, I'm still saying that Cat's going to be their best player this year still. But yeah, so Cecil or
5th for me. I also have Minnesota. I mean, like Pisa said, I did not like the Rudy Gobert trade. I mean, it makes them better offensively. I don't like. That don't mean like you're not going to be like in the playoffs where you. I feel like it's going to be the same thing like in Utah. Like he's going to get picked on. Like Rudy Gobert is a great defender, but like with the small ball and them having two towers, like one of them got to get picked on. They're going to have to like get stretched out. They're going to have to guard on the perimeter. So I feel like it'll be a problem there. I mean, they do have Ant-Man who's going to be good. D'Angelo Russell, like Peter said. McDaniels and all those. Plus, Slow-Mo was a great addition, like to the Minnesota team, as far as like role players and people off the bench that they can use. But we just got to see. Me personally, I got to see where it's gonna go with the whole Rudy Gobert addition and how they gonna play this down the stretch. They'll be good in the regular season, but my worry is like playoffs where teams started missing those combos and like making them have to defend outside. I want to see how they going to do that.
All right, Jeremiah.
Okay, but like all y'all have Minnesota at 5. We'll get to them later in my list. I don't want to give too much away. I had the Pelicans at 5 though. I think Zion's their best player. In my opinion, I think getting your best player back, you're probably going to be better. Last time we saw Zion, 27, 6 and 5, 60% true shooting. Like he was one of the best offense players in the league. So I think getting him back's huge. Herb and what's the kid named Alvarado or whatever? Dude who be in the backcourt. Like I think that
Hispanic Pat Beverly right there.
Yeah. Both of them really showed out to me against the Suns and showed that they can really make an impact with their defense. I'm worried a little bit about their paint protection. I mean, Jonas Valanciunas isn't the best paint protector in the league. They'll probably start Zion at the 4, who's also not a very vertical rim protector. So I'm a little bit worried about their interior defense, but I think they're gonna probably be a top 10 offense if they can keep that defense around league average. I think the Zion Ingram duo, I think is gonna take a lead this year as a duo. So I got those guys at 5.
Okay. We'll move on to 4, huh?
4, yeah.
Okay.
So I heavily disagree with Jeremiah and Destin on the Suns, but I'm not going to put them as the number 1 seed again. But yeah, I have them as the 4th seed. I think they're going to take a step. I pretty much agree with everything y'all said as far as all the potential problems, the DeAndre Ayton situation. But I don't think it's going to be such a drop off where they're going to, struggle to make the playoffs. I mean, I know that Jeremiah had him in 60, so he has them clearly in the playoffs. But yeah, I put him as the 4th seed. I still think they're going to be a team that has home court at least in the first round. If they drop off so huge to me, that says a lot about Devin Booker to me. Like for him to be a number 1 seed and then like y'all take that level of a drop, like come on, like that's to me that would be to me the only way that would make sense is if Chris Paul starts getting hurt again, like in the regular season. If he's missing like 30 games, 40 games, or something like that. But if Chris Paul is relatively healthy, which he's been since OKC, if he's relatively healthy at least during the regular season, he's been. If he can still do that, I know he's older, but he still like knows how to run an offense and just dominate during the regular season. Like I'm putting him in the 4th seed. So Suns, number 4.
Gotcha. So, me, I got Pelicans number 4. I think Zion coming back is huge for them. I love Willie Green as a coach. I think the players love playing for Willie Green. I'm a huge Brandon Ingram guy ever since he was with the Lakers. I think him, Zion, and CJ are one of the last like big threes, if you want to call them a big 3 in the league. I think that they probably. I don't know. I'm unsure. They still got Trey Murphy who can shoot the ball well, but they might have one of the highest scoring teams in the league. Just they have like Brandon Ingram, who player who's unstoppable. CJ is kind of unguardable to a degree. And Zion, somebody who's unstoppable. So, I love that dynamic. I still like Vooch. I'm not Vooch. what's his name? Valanciunas. He can space the floor. He can also rebound. He's one of the best rebounders in the league. You still have Herbert Jones, who I love as a rookie, who can space the floor, who's only getting better, who can play great defense. Jose Alvarado, like Jeremiah said. I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people and be one of the teams hosting a playoff series this season.
Desto, Jeremiah, would y'all say that like y'all basically think that the Pelicans this year are going to be basically what the Grizzlies were last year? It sounds like what y'all are saying.
Pretty much.
Because the
Grizzlies pretty much. I don't think they'll
Grizzlies kind of came out of nowhere.
I don't think they'll be quite as good just defensively. I have concerns, but I do think they're going to be like the surprise team who kind of came, because they were in the play and they were at 9 last year. So
yeah, okay. So
on fourth for me, I have Phoenix. Like, I agree with everything Jeremiah and Destin was saying with all the off-court problems and even on the team with DeAndre Ayton in the contract and now Jay reportedly wanting to trade. But I feel like if Chris Paul does play, and I love Devin Booker, I feel like those guys, they won't be like winning 60-plus games, but I don't think they'll drop. But I feel like with the team, the Lopez they have with Cam and Bridges and those guys, I feel like they'll still be a playoff team, with home court advantage. I don't think they're going to be like out the playoffs or like a play-in team. So I have Phoenix at 4.
All right, Jeremiah, your 4th seed.
People are not going to like this. I got the Clippers at 4. I think they're still going to be one of the best teams in basketball this year. My concern is I just don't know if Kawhi especially, but them in general are going to care enough about the regular season. I expect Kawhi, even if he's healthy, he's going to miss 15 games, 20 games maybe. PG's kind of the same way where he's had injury issues. So I still think I think they're a contender. I think that they got a chance to make the finals even as a 4 seed. I just don't know if they're gonna be trying super hard to be a top seed in a regular season. I think they're very focused on being great in the playoffs, making sure they're healthy, making sure their things are clicking towards that time. So I don't really have anything negative to say. I just don't know if they're gonna be trying super hard come up this season.
Yeah, I kind of. I mean, I'm not going to put them at 4, but I kind of agree with that because I mean, we know Kawhi usually misses he's going to miss some time. Even if he's healthy, he's still going to be resting 10, 15, 20 games, right? So I can see that being
low management.
Yeah. I'm still going to probably be I'm still a little bit higher on them than that, but I understand that logic. I'm going to say at number 3, I have the Denver Nuggets. And I still think Jokic is gonna. Yeah, we all did our 4th. You just did your 4th.
Yeah, we're on 3rd.
So number 3 seed, I'm gonna have the Nuggets. I still think Jokic is gonna have an MVP level season again. I would be surprised if he wanted 3 in a row. I mean, that would just be ridiculous. But the stats are gonna probably still be there. But I expect Jamal Murray being back will lighten the scoring load a little bit for him. So I don't think it's going to be as crazy as far as statistically goes. I think the only reason why I'm probably putting them at 3 is because I think the Clippers and being so much better and their depth and the overall Western Conference just being tougher. I think were they last year? Were they number 2 or number 3 last year?
They were 6.
I'm tripping. They were 6. So that's still an improvement. Yeah. But yeah, so I think that the
Clippers,
Jamal Murray.
No, the Nuggets.
No, the Nuggets.
Oh, the Nuggets.
Yeah. So I think that they're going to have a step forward this season as far as seeding goes, and I think Jamal Murray is going to lighten the load as far as Jokic having to score so much. But yeah, I'm still going to probably put them in that 3 spot. So I'm going with the Nuggets as the 3 seed.
My 3 seed, I have the Los Angeles Clippers. I think that, like Jeremiah said, the only thing concerns is Kawhi, Paul George staying healthy. But I think I don't think it's close. I think this is the deepest team in the league. You can like they're gonna be like it's inevitable for Kawhi to miss games, and probably the same for Paul George. But I mean, you have guys who can step right in and the team can still succeed. Like I just saw a report while we were recording about an hour ago. They said Reggie Jackson's gonna be their starting point guard. So that means John Wall gonna come off the bench, and you look at the bench unit. I mean, I know it's just names that have to fit, but like coming off the bench, you have John Wall, Norman Powell, you got Nicholas Batum, you got Robert Covington, and then I think they re-signed Moses Brown. He may be the.
You think Coffee gonna drop in the rotation, or he gonna still be playing?
Still got Coffee. You still got Terrence Mann. Like where's Terrence Mann gonna be?
That's what I'm saying. They gonna play. Lou gonna play a 10-man rotation, 12.
And then the starting lineup would be Reggie, Paul George, Kawhi, Morris, Zubac, and any of those players that came off the bench can step right in and start for them when needed. And they have a great coach. They have an owner who doesn't mind spending money.
Spending that money.
Yeah, and I think like this seems scary. Not gonna lie, and I think they firmly can be right there at that 3 spot. Not maybe number 1. Like I just got them 3 just because I don't know if they'll take the regular season as serious, just given the talented players that they got and everything. But you know they could like they were a playing team missing like their best 2 players. Like that's kind of wild to think. So yeah, I got LA, the Clippers, number 3.
I got the same as Destin. I have the Clippers number 3. I mean, I can see them easily as a 1 seed, but I don't think like everybody else saying they're gonna take the regular season as serious because you know Kawhi and Paul they gonna miss games, but they are deep. Like they got like this team is like it's scary how deep this team is. Like they got Reggie. Now, I didn't even catch that he was starting and Jones coming off the bench. So that's just with Reggie coming off the bench, it was crazy. But yeah, I have Los Angeles Clippers at the 3rd seed in the West. I feel like this team can be a team that definitely represents the West in the finals. If being healthy with all the role players and the coaching that they got, so I'm ready to see what's gonna happen.
So it seems like everybody else had the Clippers at number 3. I have the Clippers at number 2, so one above y'all. I agree with.
He didn't.
Oh, I'm tripping. My bad, man. Go. I'm tripping.
No, you good. I got my Minnesota Timberwolves at 3.
Oh.
So a couple of things. I don't know how the Rudy thing will go come playoff time. I think there's a lot of really great questions that they need to answer. But in a regular season, there really aren't 10 basketball players in the world who make a bigger difference in a regular season than Rudy does. Last 4 seasons, if you add up total regular season win totals, Jazz have won most basketball games. 4 of the last 5 seasons, they won at least 48 games. They've had a top 10 defense each of the last 4 years. Like, dude just makes a difference in the regular season.
Single-handedly carries their defense.
Yeah, and I think this is probably the best defensive team that he'll ever have played on. So if the Wolves finish as a top 5 defense, that would not surprise me one bit. Offensively, I mean they were a top 10 offense last year with Jared Vanderbilt, where Rudy's about to be. So I don't see a huge fall off coming there. I think that D'Angelo Russell is probably the best passer Rudy's ever played with. So I expect him to maybe potentially be a little bit better offensively than he has been to this point.
I think my
big concern is everybody's big concern. Can Carl guard forward? Can Carl guard forward? Which is a concern, but to me, when you have the best rim protector in basketball, it's a less of a concern. I mean, I watched, Joe Ingles and Bogdan Bogdanovic and Jordan Clarkson guard on the perimeter. It's not much better than what Carl's going to be doing.
English can move his feet a little bit more than Cat.
So here my other thing is, here's why I liked the trade. Is because one of the questions I've always had just about the NBA in general is, can you win a championship if your center is a below average defensive player? Like I don't think you can. I think NBA history has shown that you have I think maybe the worst center to win a chip in the last few seasons is probably like Tristan Thompson with the Cavs, maybe. In 2016, I just don't know. And so I think that
Tristan Thompson was good. He was a beast on the boards.
I mean, that's my point, though. That's probably the worst defensive center that's
and he kind of shared rim protection along with LeBron, too. So
yeah. And so I think that's what the way the Wolves looked at it as is, can we win a championship? Presumably, with over the next few seasons. You got Ant coming up, Karl Anthony Towns coming into his prime. We want to compete for championships. I'm not sure we can field a playoff level defense with Karl at the 5. So I understood it from that perspective. And the last thing I'll say about the Wolves is, I think that they have a really good coach. I love Chris Finch. I think his play designs are really good. His sets are really good. The Wolves, again, were 7th in offense last year. Like, in my opinion, they really didn't have any business being quite that high. And so I think that I believe in Finch being able to kind of figure it out offensively. Again, my biggest question, defensively, can Karl guard the 4? That remains to be seen. I'm with you on there. But ultimately, Rudy Gobert is one of the biggest difference makers in the season in the league. So I got the Wolves at 4 or at 3.
Okay.
All right. Joe, I mean, you kind of spoiled your pick already, but
yeah. But no, yeah, he actually had me thinking about like all the defensive centers, all the centers that won a championship. And what's the worst?
Yeah, and I think, and it was a huge debate about what's more important, having elite rim protection or having like an elite perimeter defender.
Oh, it's rim protection, easily.
Yeah, I lean rim protection, but if you look at like the history of the league, every team that has won championship has both. Like if you look back, like you can look just now, you had Draymond, you got Andrew Wiggins. Year before, you got Drew Holiday, you got Giannis and Brook Lopez. Year before that, you got AD, and on the wings, you got LeBron, who's playing great defense. You got Caruso, then you had KCP, then. So you need both.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you want somebody that could do both. Like, you want somebody that can, you want like one of these unicorns that can, guard on the perimeter and guard the rim.
And even AD, he was a wing defender, and he was Dwight and JaVale. So you can just go back in history, and I can name you each championship team, and they all had both. So, but I would still lean rim protection. But that's a interesting debate. I think it's becoming more of a debate because the game is becoming more outside in now, and you have a team with a lot more wings, and a lot more perimeter based players. So, some people see that as a debate. I still lean rim protection because the easiest shot to get in the league is a layup or a dunk. So having somebody who can stop that gives you a better chance.
Thinking about it, I mean, I don't know if this is going to really count because technically, so the worst one I can think of is probably Zaza Pachulia with the Warriors.
But he didn't really.
But he didn't really play like a lot of their most important minutes. Like in crunch time, he wasn't on the court, right? But he did technically start.
And KD was
technically, that's probably the closest I can think of. But yeah, as far as the second seed, it is the Clippers for me. The main reason, so like looking at them last year, they still made the playoffs. Or well, no, they still were a play-in team last year. And they pretty much didn't have Kawhi the entire year, and they didn't have Paul George most of the year, right? We saw when Kawhi was playing with them, he was missing maybe 20 to 25 games each season. so with PG playing and Kawhi missing 20 to 25 games, they still were 2 seed, 3 seed. Those 2 years.
I think it was a year they were like the 4th.
Yeah,
but
I think but one of those years they were like the 2 seed, I believe, and Kawhi still missed like 25 games.
That was the bubble year that they were.
That was the bubble year. Yeah, and so, but they still been winning like 50 games with Kawhi missing this much time, right? They've been winning 50 plus games. I want to say like they were the 2 seed that year. The year that they got upset.
Oh yeah, you're right. The year after that, that's when they were like 4th.
Yeah, and so like they've been a team that's been basically winning 50 plus games with Kawhi missing 20 to 25 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Kawhi still might miss that, but they're going to have PG hopefully healthy as well, and they're deeper than they were those other seasons. They're deeper than they were the last couple of years, and they still were damn near a playoff team last year with both of them out, right? So, yeah, I'm feeling that them being so much more deep compared to the past years, that they're going to be able to shoulder Kawhi missing some time and still be a very high-level regular season team. They're going to be top 10 in offense and defense, probably top 5 in defense, potentially. But, yeah, at least top 10 in both.
Their depth is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I'm going with the Clippers for the number 2 seed.
And for my number 2, I have the Golden State Warriors. I mean, see this annoying team time and time again just play a beautiful brand of basketball with these light-skinned guys who can shoot the hell out of the ball. They just re-signed key pieces, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins. I saw this clip on Twitter. These Warriors fans going crazy because they signed DiVincenzo. They was acting like they signed prime Michael Jordan. Like they was like, "Oh my God, we got DiVincenzo." I'm like, DiVincenzo. Now I do think so some losses for them are some huge losses for them were Gary Payton, who played like great defense, especially when at times in the finals. Like I love watching him play defense. I watched him play defense. It's a clip like 20 minutes, and like every time like a guy takes like that second dribble, he takes the ball. Like it's crazy. Like his anticipation is everything. But that's a loss for them, and also Otto Porter Jr., a guy who played big minutes for them in the finals. But I think they'll be just fine. They still are Warriors. They still have the greatest shooter in NBA history, top 5 player in the league, Steph Curry. I think Klay is going to be better coming off that injury. That 1 year removed from coming back. I think that second year he's going to be better. It's a little interesting. I think they'll be all right for this season with the whole Draymond Jordan Poole situation. I think they'll be all right, but like chemistry wise, we'll see. But they'll still be one of the. I got them number 2, but I mean,
it's hard for me to hit me.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like with Jordan Poole, it's probably less of a problem now because they committed to him. Like long term, it made kind of easy some of the burden, like some of the thoughts in his mind. Like they committed to him, and they haven't committed to Draymond yet, at least. So we'll see how it plays out. But I think Golden State be right there again, number 2 seed.
For me, I have Denver. Denver is going to be a really good team. I'm like so cranked to see them. Like I'm watching a lot of their game. Cause you already know how I feel about. I'm bought Jamal.
You can get that hot take again.
Yeah, Cecil. Yeah. Please go into what you were saying about Jamal Murray. Please, I want to hear this again.
So my hot take about Jamal is I think he would average 25 points this season. I still feel that way. I still feel like he's gonna take some of the slack off Jokic, and if Jokic don't even have to score how he been scoring and doing what he been doing, but if he do with MPJ coming back and then them getting, I think they landed, if I'm not mistaken, Bruce Brown. Then they land
oh boy, KCP, man.
They got some pieces over there, but like I'm really hyped about this Denver team. They got a good coach. I feel
But
like
your hot take
they're gonna
is
be
that
Yeah,
Jamal
a
Murray.
team to watch.
You said something else about Jamal Murray. Now say what you really said about Jamal Murray. I mean, the 25 points per game is a big prediction, but you said something even bigger to me. I don't know. Wait, Cecil.
No, don't lag out now. No, he gonna lag out. Yeah, he gonna lag out. No, I'm gonna spoil it.
Didn't say that.
I was spoil it. He said Jamal Murray's gonna be a top 5 point guard this year, coming off not playing a whole season. I think he has top 5 potential, but I don't think he's gonna be a top 5 point guard. I think it's just like the point guard play in this league. Like, there's some guys you can debate that he can be better than, but it's still
top 10. Yeah, okay.
Top 10. I believe that's absolutely. I spoiled.
Yeah. Number 2, Denver for sure. Yeah, them boys.
No. So, but what you say about Jamal Murray? He gonna be what this year?
Oh yeah, Jamal gonna average about 25 this year, bro.
Nah. You said he gonna be a top what?
I said top 5 point guard.
Yeah.
But like I said, I still feel that way. I think at the moment it was more so I was feeling like I like misinterpreted wrong, but I still feel like he gonna still be like a top 5. Definitely in the West.
Okay.
I mean, like, if you think about it, I mean, Ja Morant is good, but I don't think me personally, I don't think he's better than a healthy Jamal Murray. Like, I'm saying, like, we can go back.
I can go for that, but it's still like I got point guards out of my head. Like he's.
All right. Cecil, hold on. So give me
Can
the
I get
4
the
point guard.
real quick?
Give me the. Go get him. You said he's top 5, so give me your top 5 point guard, Cecil. You said he's top 5, so give me your top 5.
No, I say he will be top 5. I don't think he's top 5 right now.
Okay. So
at the end of this season, Jamal Murray will be.
So
right now,
your prediction for top 5 point guards this season.
Of course, we have Steph first. Second.
And number 2 should be easy, man. That number 2 should be easy.
It should be.
I ain't gonna give it away. I know your mind blanking right now.
I'm blanking real hard. Hold on. This place. Who we got? Am I missing somebody? No, we got Steph. Who am I missing this West? Say the team. Hold on. Let me look at the teams. Hold on.
I'm not gonna say it. You're supposed to know this, man.
Hold on. Oh, Luka. Luka.
That's easy.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Luka number 2. 3. That's what I'm saying, but like Dame.
Right there. That's my order right now, technically.
All right. Steph, Luka, Dame.
I got ice tray right there.
Mm-hmm.
In the West?
No, I'm just saying like the whole league.
Oh, right now, league. I'll put ice tray then probably on 5th is Jamal, bro. Yeah, Jamal gonna be 5th after this season. He's not right now, but after this season, he's gonna be 5th.
You skip one.
Not just 4. It's what? Steph, Luka.
Oh, okay, you're
Dame,
right. Yeah, Dame and Trey. Okay, you're right. Okay.
So what about Kyrie? What about Drew Holiday? I mean, Ben Simmons technically a point guard. I'll probably choose Jamal over him.
Nah, give me Jamal. Give me Jamal right now.
I'll choose Jamal over him. I'm just saying.
I might be a little biased though, brother, because Jamal is like I kind of feel how you feel about Lonzo, about Jamal. Like it's one of like secretly like one of my favorite players to watch. Like, you know,
I don't think I overrate Lonzo anymore, but you know, I mean, you still got Chris Paul who still performs at a high level. You know, so it's kind of tough, but I mean, hey,
and
we'll see.
And I don't know if y'all want to consider him a point guard, but I mean, I don't know. You're probably not Harden.
Yeah, Harden.
Yeah. I'm keeping Harden at that 2, bro. I haven't did that yet, bro. When I use it, I still have him at the 2, but I just can't. put Harden at the. I mean,
well, it's a debate. I think if he has the season
he's definitely
that
better than Jamal. Yeah, he's definitely better than Jamal if he's just looking at the one. But like I
all right,
said,
so Jeremiah is your pick for the two.
That was two, right? Yeah, that was two.
Yeah, that was two.
Yeah, I had Denver.
My 2 seed, I got the Warriors. Obviously, they're coming off of being the best team in basketball last year. Brought almost everybody back. I love who they pick up. You just said DiVincenzo. I like. But I really like they pick up Michael Green too. I think he's going to be a really nice big off the bench for them. He's got some versatility.
Like that.
He's a really solid passer. So I think he'll fit in the system well. Can shoot the long ball too. Obviously, Clay was half coming back from injury last year, so he had a full offseason. He should be, closer to what we saw before the injury. So I think, they're primed and ready to get the West back again this year, I think. So, yeah, I got them at 2.
Okay. I have the Warriors as the 1 seed, and I know what happened with the Poole situation. That gave me some pause, but I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not going to be an issue for them during the regular season, and they're the team that's probably the most reliable regular season team by far. It's not even a question. Like, they're going to be in that top 3. I don't expect them to have as many question marks when it comes to guys missing a lot of time, like the Clippers. I know the Nuggets are going to be up there, but they have Jamal Murray coming back off the ACL. I still got to see, how he's going to look over the course of the season. I know he's healthy, but I still want to see how he's going to play, how he's going to perform. I think Clay being a little bit more healthy after a full season, being back, maybe we'll see more consistency out of him, because he kind of took a step back last year as far as being consistent. And I think Andrew Wiggins took a little step forward as well as a player. I think we're going to see him start to improve more in their system. Jordan Poole as well, going into another year. I think he's going to have his best season, and he's going to be motivated as well, So, I'm going to go with the Warriors to 1 seed. I think that's a very uncontroversial pick, but yeah.
Yeah, mine may be a little controversial, but I got the Nuggets number 1. Absolutely love and hate the KCP pick. I wish he was still on the Lakers. He's just a excellent player to have around Nikola Jokic. He's fast. He's gonna get out in transition. He's gonna play great defense. He's gonna knock down threes. He's a much better player than when he first got to the Lakers, and I hated KCP, and I crucified him. And then when we won the chip, he was kind of like our most reliable third option. Like, he was probably like the Lakers' third best player, and I love that pickup. They lost Monte Morris and lost Will Barton, but they picked up KCP, and I think somebody who's going to play a better role for them.
Smith, they got Smith too, though. I think from Washington. I think Ish came in that deal with
but I think somebody who's going to play a larger role for them this year is going to be Bones Highland. Somebody I really like coming off their bench. He's going to replace. He's still going to be coming off the bench, but because Monte Morris was starting, so Jamal will be back in that starting spot, and Bones will be coming off the bench. And I really like his upside. He has I listen to his music too. Like, his songs kind of loud. Like, and he get busy when he on the court. Like, he's just a fun player to watch. And Jokic, he's gonna be back to that MVP form, MVP level, and bring it back. They another one of the teams who's gonna have a big 3. I think last time they was on the court together, if I'm not wrong, they were the most efficient trio in the league. Him, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. They still have Aaron Gordon, who's going to have some pressure off of him so he can commit more defensively and just cut and just play ball. Like, him and Jokic, their chemistry is great because he plays off the ball so well, and I think this team is going to win a lot of games. I love the coach, Mike Malone. That team is going to be a beast for sure. That's my number 1.
For me, I have Golden State. This team is just like too much at times. And then like our guys said, like Clay had a full off season. I mean, they paid Poole, they paid Wiggins. I mean, they still have Draymond. This team is just like I said, it's just too much. And I feel like Wiggins, he gonna really he showed a little bit in the playoffs and in the finals, like what he can look like in that offense and how he can look like in his role. So I feel like that's gonna be strong. They have Clay coming back. You still have Curry being the best shooter ever with the way they got chemistry. So they have Warriors number one.
The 1 seed, I got the Nuggets. They won 48 basketball games last year somehow with no MPJ, no Jamal Murray. I think their second best player was probably Aaron Gordon. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're going to be. They picked up KCP, but they also picked up Bruce Brown, who I thought was
huge,
a little bit
huge.
underrated for the Nets last year. So he's real solid. I like him. My question is the same one I posited with the Karl Anthony Towns situation, which is, can they field a playoff defense that's good enough to, be in the finals, win the championship? That's probably my only real question with him. But in the regular season, I think they might be a 61 team. And that leads me into a hot take I got for later. But I got the Nuggets at 1. I think they're gonna be the best, probably the best record in the league.
Okay, so we got through our picks for the first through 10 seeds. Now, I want to hear everybody's selection
MVP
for What do you think we should start, Drew? We should start at MVP, or should we start like in reverse?
You can just go MVP.
Yeah, I think we go MVP because I think a lot of our picks for seeding is probably going to give our MVP.
All right, I'm gonna go first.
I think
for the 2023 MVP, I got Jason Tatum.
I knew it was coming.
I think, yeah.
Nah.
I think this dude. I think he's gonna. I think he kind of had an MVP like season last year. I think he's gonna be even better. I think coming from that finals loss, he's gonna lock in more defense. Even though he's already a good defender, he's gonna be great. I think the Celtics are gonna be a top 3 seed. He's just gonna be better. I think he's going into year 6, and historically, like for players like LeBron, we seen like with Kobe, we seen with just those guys like KD, they'll take that L, bounce back, and be better. And I think he's gonna it wouldn't surprise me if I want to see him be more efficient. I think having Malcolm Brogdon is going to help him do that. He's going to take some responsibilities off of him, and I can see him I think the past few seasons he was at like 26 points a game. I can see him around like 28 to 29. Maybe shooting a 3 ball like a 40% clip. That's what I got though. I got my boy JT win MVP.
CC, you can go next.
This one's probably one of the difficult this was a difficult pick. I was torn between Tatum and Luka, but I think that I end up going with Luka. I think Luka, especially if he's in that top 6 seed with carrying the Dallas team, I definitely feel like Luka is a guy that can also average around 20 to 29 to 30 points a game with the assists and the rebounding. So I have Luka right now. That bad man.
Where'd you have the Mavericks finishing in the seeding again?
I had them. I had Dallas 6.
I think he's gonna have like one of those Jokic type seasons to win MVP.
Yeah, that's why.
Like he's gonna have
I think that's
probably
why
average a triple double or something like
gotta
that.
be for him to, if you're gonna win it in the 60s, you gotta have an historic season. It gotta be like
it gotta be one of them crazy.
I think if he averages a triple double, he'll definitely get it.
like a 30-point triple double,
Or be right there.
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, MVP is going to be Joel Embiid. He's been in the conversation past year and a half, or season and a half, I guess you could say. A lot of people thought he should have won it last year. He didn't get it. He needs to stay on the court. Obviously, that's a big factor with him. But even with missing games last year, he still was right there. Jokic cleared him. But I think if they get the 1 seed this year, which is what I picked them to do, that's going to be what's going to be the difference for him. He's going to get. I don't think he's going to have a better season necessarily by just the raw stats compared to last year. Like I don't think he's going to average more points or get more 40 in 10 games than he had last year. Like last year, he was carrying a crazy amount. But I think that his efficiency is going to be even better. I think they're going to win more. They're going to be the number 1 seed. They're going to win more games, and I think that the depth is actually going to help highlight him as being like the MVP or number 1 player in the league.
I thought about Embiid and I have him as a finalist, but do you think the return of Harden to a degree is going to help kind of take away his notoriety?
No, because I don't think the media fucks with Harden like that. So they're gonna. I think that they're gonna be like, Embiid is still clearly the number 1 player on the team. I don't think Harden's gonna be taking votes away because nobody's gonna ever vote for Harden.
Not taking votes away, but like they can kind of cancel each other out. Like they kind of look at him as more of like a 2-headed monster. I feel like if you look back when Giannis won his second and LeBron and AD were both playing at like all NBA level, I guess like the big part of it was the fact that LeBron had AD on his team, and Giannis had Middleton as the second best guy. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. Not that AD was a top 5 MVP candidate because he wasn't, but he was still an All NBA level player. And if Harden is back to All NBA level, I could see that not giving Embiid as much recognition. That's the only reason I didn't. That's kind of the only reason I didn't pick them because I have the Sixers number 1 seed, but that's why.
I would say the main reason why I don't think that's going to matter, apart from like the whole, I don't think he's going to take any votes away, is that I think the narrative, like him missing out on it last year when he was a runner-up, him being right there, being in the conversation. I feel like a lot of media people, because remember it's a media award, so they're going to vote. So I feel like a lot of people are like, damn, like we didn't give it to him last year, and they're the number 1 seed now. Like we kind of
if he has those numbers too. He might.
It kind of reminds me of Harden. So, like Harden back in like 2017 lost it out to Russ.
Yeah.
Runner up. Russ was triple-double MVP, and he won more games than Russ, and he had almost just as good a stat line, but they gave it to Russ because of triple-double. And the narrative was like, oh, snap. Well, now they're the number 1 seed in 2018. Like, we kind of got to give it to Harden because they the best record in the league, and Chris Paul was on the team that year. Like, they had a better roster. He didn't have Chris. The year he was runner up, he didn't have Chris Paul, and he was runner up. He got Chris Paul, and he won MVP. So I'm like,
thanks.
So that's
I feel like that season was kind of undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean that's what I think it's going to be kind of like he's due, and we're gonna give it to him. I don't think it's going to be necessarily like he has the best stats of his career, but yeah. So that's my MVP.
Gotcha. All right, Jeremiah, it's on you. MVP pick.
Is this the controversial thing that he's talking about?
Yeah, y'all not gonna
Carl
like
Anthony
this.
Towns. No.
He gonna say Jokic. No.
I do think he's gonna be a dark horse, but he's not gonna win. I think we're gonna see for the second time in NBA history somebody win the I think Nikola Jokic is gonna be MVP again.
Spicy.
Here's my thing. If I ask you, what would this man have to do to win? Like, if my prediction comes true for how good they'll be, if they have the best record in the league, and he's still averaging, let's say, 27, 12, and 6, like, it's going to be hard not to. I think And I think a lot of it is depending on the Nuggets being as good as I think. Though. I think if they're the first seed overall, like have the best record in the league, like I think they will. I think he's.
I mean, they gave it to him as a 6 seed, right? So they gave it to him a 6 seed. And, like they just might give it to him a third time as the number 1
then
seed.
they kicked him out.
He's in my mind, man.
Oh, hold on. No, Jeremiah. I cut you out there, but you were going.
Yeah, my fault. They actually cut me off, but they must have thought my take was too hot, so they didn't want me to finish. But yeah, I think if I think what's gonna happen is gonna happen, if Jokic and the Nuggets are as good as I think they'll be, it's really hard not to give that man another. I know voter fatigue is gonna kick that man in the ass, but I think. I wanted to go Luka, but I just don't think the Mavs are going to be good enough. If the Mavs can get to a seed, then I might change my mind. But I just don't think the Mavs are going to be good enough. So I think Jokic is just going to go back to back to back.
Wow, that's a bold prediction right there.
Damn.
All I'm gonna say is if he wins the third MVP and doesn't make the, I know the last 2 years it hasn't been his fault not to make the conference finals or the finals, but the scrutiny is gonna be like inevitable. But
if he don't get a deep playoff run, that man might be burned at the stake.
3 MVPs in a row. I think the value around that award isn't gonna be looked at the same if he doesn't do anything in the postseason. But I mean that's not a bad pick at all. Jokic is a great player.
No, because I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the number one seed. I could see that happening easily. And they gave it to him as a 6. The only thing I can think of that maybe could knock his numbers down is Jamal Murray being back.
Coming back.
Maybe
and MPJ, and maybe an injury or something. You know.
No, wait, what you said?
I was gonna say I think the Jamal. I just don't think. Like I agree that one of the reasons I didn't pick Embiid is because I think Harden's gonna have a resurgence and be an All-NBA level player. Whereas for Jamal, I don't think he's quite good enough to steal some of that shine the way that Harden will probably do this year. Does that make sense? Like I just don't
makes
think.
Sense.
I think he'll be an All-Star level player, but I just don't know if he'll get to like All-NBA where he's like, you know, where people are like, oh, Jokic has all of his help. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like and that's not a bad pick for Jokic as well. I think my main reasoning for not picking him is voters fatigue.
3 in
like
a row,
you said.
yeah, 3 in a row would be crazy.
It's the reason why it's only been done 3 times. And the last time it was like 85, 86. I'm not sure when Bird won it, but there's a reason why it only happened 1 time. If Jokic's able to do that again, he's gonna have a lot of pressure on him. But you know, we'll see how that works. My defensive player of the year, I got Anthony Davis. I think he's gonna have a bounce back year. I think he's gonna be. I predict he's gonna have a great season, and I think LeBron's gonna have a great season. Now, I think just the pieces around him on fit. That's the only reason I had the Lakers so low in my rankings. But I think AD is gonna stay healthy. On wood. I think he's gonna anchor our defense. And
I started knocking on wood. I had to knock on wood too, man.
Oh, okay.
He kind of scared me with the AD thing.
Yeah, but I think AD. I think when healthy, he's like a top 3 defensive player in the league. Maybe 1. You can make an argument for him being number 1. And I think.
Destin, you know I'm gonna come for you for this pick though. I'm gonna let you finish though. I'm gonna come
I know. But I think he's a beast, and it's about time. I think he should have won it like a few years ago. It's another time I think he could have won it in 2018, but I think it's going to be his year. I think he's going to remind everybody who he is. Anthony Marshawn Davis, NBA champion. And that's what it is.
So before I'm not gonna give my pick yet. I'm probably gonna let Jeremiah give his pick first, but I want to say one thing on. How you gonna have the Lakers as the 9th seed, but Anthony Davis is gonna win Defensive Player of the Year? Tell me how you gonna have the Lakers as the 9th seed, because you know full well.
I mean, I just think it's gonna be like largely on display. I mean, I know it's tough because I mentioned that too. I know it's tough to stomach that too. But for me, I don't know. That's how I look at it. Like because when I think of ninth seed, I'm thinking even like healthy, like. But I still think AD is going to be great defensively. Like when he's healthy, he's going to be great. I just don't think the Lakers are going to be that great. I think they can win a lot of games. Like they can have like a positive record. I just think the West is too stacked for them to win consistently every night with how deep every other roster is.
Mm-hmm.
But from like just a production standpoint, he can still be like that tremendous defensive anchor, and he may have like he talks about it a lot, so he could have that narrative in his favor. Like, you know, he can kind of talk his way into it as well. Play great too. So yeah, that's kind of my reasoning.
Yeah, I feel like I mostly agree. I actually agree with you that Anthony Davis, when he's healthy, might be the best defensive player in the league. If the Lakers can manage to get a top 5 seed, I'd probably pick him. I just don't think that they're going to be good enough for voters who want to, make him the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, in 2020, I thought he should have got it over Giannis. I think that was the year Giannis got both. Giannis got MVP and defensive player.
He definitely got robbed.
Yeah. But I feel like this year it's going to be way too difficult for him to get it. I was going to give him my defensive player of the year pick, but I want Jeremiah to go first because I think his pick is probably going to be the same as my pick. So I'm just going to let him go first. Maybe it's not, but go ahead. And,
so I think that there is a certain 3-time defensive player of the year who is going to have the best defensive year in his career because he's on the best defensive team he's ever been on. So I'm going to go Rudy Gobert, getting defensive player of the year number 4. I just think, especially if you got to think of this from a narrative standpoint too, is the Wolves were a 6 seed last year. Again, it's the same situation with Jokic is if they're as good as I think they'll be and they're a top 5 defense the way that I think they'll be, I think the narrative's going to run with Rudy, especially since he was, this big offseason addition. All of a sudden, the Wolves are quote-unquote contenders, have an elite defense. I think the narrative will be in his favor. And I think actually from an actual basketball perspective, again, the best defensive team he's ever been on. So for those 2 reasons, I think Rudy's going to get number 4.
I'm also picking Gobert to win.
Great pick. To
win his 4th defensive player. It's not as crazy as 3 MVPs, but I think there's been a few 4-timers, right? I think I know Ben
Wallace is one for sure.
Yeah, I think Ben Wallace won 5 or something crazy, right? But
I think it was 4. If I'm not mistaken.
But yeah. So I'm going with the Gobert as well. I'm mostly because I think it's gonna be a narrative thing. Like we saw the Timberwolves, they made the playoffs. They made it through the play-ins, and so now they're going to be clear. I have them as number 5 seed, but I think that defensively they weren't that high in the rankings. They were probably pretty average in the defensive standings. I want to say last year. I'd have to look, but I think they were probably 14 or 15 defensively. And now I think they're going to be in the top 10. And I think the whole him just being a new addition, that's going to be highlighted, him being there and then suddenly being an elite defensive team. That's that narrative alone, him already being a defensive player, multiple time defensive player, that's going to sell it right there. They're going to go from an averages, at least in the standings, averages defensive team to an elite defensive team. And the main difference is going to be his addition. So I think that's going to be a good selling point for that. I don't know if they're the best defensive team that he's had. I really got to think about that because I don't know. It just seems like is D'Angelo Russell the best guard defender that he's had starting at the point of attack like that?
No. Probably was Ricky Rubio, maybe Mike Conley,
and I know Joe Ingles isn't the best defensive player for a big guy, but I think that I would rather have him guarding floors than Cat. I'm gonna be straight up. So I still got to see that. I got to see Cat chase because he can move his feet more. He's a little bit more mobile. He could slide laterally better than Cat. Cat runs kind of funny to me. I'm gonna be straight up. I don't know what it is, but Cat just looks funny when he's running into me.
Yeah.
Whenever he's moving on the floor, it just looks like something just looks off. I don't know what it is. But so yeah.
It was a good test to see him yesterday against the Nets. Move his feet against a team who starts with KD at the 4.
Yeah, and they were getting blitzed. They were getting blitzed out the gate in that game too.
Yeah, they were.
And
I actually thought he was all right. There were times when it was noticeable when he struggled playing defense at the 4. But it was times where he played hard. He got good contests and shuffled his feet. So I mean, he probably prepared for the offseason, but it's different when you're on the court. So we got to see how that play out.
Yeah.
But I still have my reservations about that one too.
But yeah, but I still think that like as far as narrative goes, they're gonna make a big enough jump, in as far as winning, seeding, and in the defensive rankings or whatever. That I think that's gonna get Gobert the award, or I think that'd be a strong pick. So that's what I'm going with it. But yeah, I just don't. And I'm gonna let Jeremiah get back in here and argue with me on that. But I don't think that that's the best defensive team that Gobert's been a part of. But it's debatable. Cecil.
I mean, you and Jeremiah agreed, and I also had AD along with Destin. I feel like when healthy, he's one of the best defenders in the league. So I think he's gonna remind everybody of what he can do defensively. Because I feel like a lot of people that I spoke to or talked to about basketball, I'd be at the gym or something. They seem like they forgotten how great Anthony Davis is on defensive end. And if my Lakers can somewhat, be what I'm hoping them to be, it'll definitely be in the conversations for defensive player of the year. But yeah, he gonna definitely remind everybody of how good he is on defense.
Okay. Y'all still killing me with this AD being defensive player of the year thing. I'm be straight up.
Yeah.
Because
AD, baby.
Again, if the Lakers could somehow manage the top 4 seed, I'd be with you. I think.
Yeah, to me, for him to get the award, they got to win they got to be a high. They don't got to be number 1 or number. They got to be at least clearly in the playoffs. To me, I don't know, but
Is it what you say, top 6? Think he can be in that conversation?
Probably at least top 6. I don't know. I mean, maybe some players have won it being lower, but I can't think of any players that have won it being lower.
Man, I got them at 7, so 6, 1 out. Well, at best.
Wait, see, I didn't hear your pick.
Oh, you said AD as well.
He said AD. Okay, yeah, my brother. All right, so so we can get so we can get into these rookies.
Hold on, Jeremiah. So you cut up when I'm saying that. I don't agree with you on that best defensive player he's ever had or whatever Gobert thing. But hold on,
best defensive team.
Ever been on.
I mean, best. Yeah, I don't agree with that. His best defensive team he's ever been on.
Which Jazz team do you think is?
So let's go down the list of the players. Would you say that D'Angelo Russell is the best point guard that he's had defensively at the point of attack, guarding the ball?
He's had Donovan, Rubio.
Donovan was a shooting guard though. So Rubio was his point guard, and we also have Mike Conley, which Mike Conley is a little bit
older though. He was a little older.
Yeah, he's a little washed, but he's still a good defensive player. He's still obviously above average, right? Damn, he cut out again. But
yeah, he kind of froze.
But yeah, nah. All right, so please explain to me how that is the best defensive team that Rudy's been on.
Okay, so I mean, here's one way to look at it: is if pick any of those Jazz teams with no Rudy, we're talking about 20th ranked defenses at best. I think bottom 10 defenses in all 4 of the last 4 years. Last year, the Wolves were the 13th ranked defense with no Rudy.
Okay.
Another way to look at it is Jaden McDaniels is, to me, by far the best defender he's ever played with. I don't even think it's close. I think Ant is just as good defensively as, maybe top 5 perimeter defenders he's played with. Rubio, Royce O'Neal.
Royce O'Neal's a better defender, wouldn't you say?
Okay, so yeah, Royce O'Neal. I would say Rubio's a better defender. But after that, it starts getting real shaky. Slow-mo, Torian Prince, I think are right there too. I mean, if you just made a list of the 10 best defensive players, I think you might have 7 Wolves on that list. 6 Wolves on that list.
Wait. Hold on. Wait, what? Nah. Really? The 10 best?
I mean, who?
Yeah,
okay,
Rudy's played with.
Okay,
let's see.
Rubio, Royce O'Neal. Who?
Okay.
Yeah. Who else do you think makes that list? I think Jaden and slow mo Torian Prince make the list.
Let's see, look at that roster.
Like, so that's really, those are the two perspectives I'm kind of coming at it from. Is I just think he's got more defensive talent than he's ever had, and those Jazz teams with no Rudy those were bottom 10 defenses in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I like Jordan McLaughlin on defense too. He was he was pretty good in the Grizzly series. That time when D'Angelo Russell was struggling, he was coming in and playing pretty good.
One of those so Jazz team they had Crowder and Royce O'Neal together on 2018.
They did have Crowder one of those years, didn't they?
Yeah, they had Crowder and they had
Crowder was nice.
Crowder's nice. He'd be on that list
Rubio.
for sure.
So Rubio, Royce, Crowder, and then if we're looking at like Cat versus Ingles, I'd rather have Ingles, to be honest, on defense as far as guarding.
Yeah, as far as guarding the perimeter, I would agree.
But yeah, I don't know.
I would also say that Rudy
didn't they used to play big with like Derek Favors?
Yeah, they sometimes would play big with Derek Favors. They'd play like both of them, but
yeah.
I'm not sure how good they were defensively. I was just throwing out names. So.
I mean, but how long has it been since he played with those dudes? It's been 3 seasons.
It's been quite a few seasons.
Like, so especially these last 2 years in particular, outside of
weren't they worse? Weren't they like? Didn't they take a step back defensively last year? Like,
they were 10th in the league, and they were before. I think the year before they were like 6th, if I remember correct. But in the last 4 years they finished top 10. I think they were 10th according to NBA.com at least.
Okay. I mean, I think it's debatable, but I still think I would take, I guess, probably that 2018, 2019 defense.
Oh, last year. The Wolves were 13th last year. Obviously, I just don't think any of those Jazz teams get there with no Rudy.
I mean, they did lose some. I think if they kept defensive pieces that they didn't lose, that would be. I don't think this would even be a debate. Like they lost Patrick Beverly and Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
And I mean they replaced
Vanderbilt was really good defensively last year. I thought.
Yeah,
really good.
I think if they kept those two and then they brought in Rudy. Then that would be. I don't think that would even be a debate. But
don't get me wrong. I still have Gobert winning Defensive Player of the Year. I just don't agree with that one. That's my one nitpick on you.
Yeah. No way.
I pretty much agree with the narrative, and I think that they're going. I have them slightly not as high with you in the seedings, and I have them. But I think that I still think that he's gonna make them like a, if not top 10, an elite level defense, minimum top 10 level defense. But I just I don't know. I just have question mark. The biggest question mark on defense is Cat. I really got to see it over a big sample size again.
So I actually think, and this is why I love Chris Finch. I think they might have figured something out with Cat last year because again, Cat has never been top 22. I think the highest before last season that the Wolves had finished in defensive rating was like 23rd. But last year they were 13th, and they started. I call it scramming, but it's just basically like how the Warriors play or how people play Steph in the pick and roll. That's how the Wolves were playing everybody in the pick and roll with Cat, just scramming, trying to get the ball out of their hands as quick, and then just rotating on the backside. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I've seen a lot of that in the preseason when Rudy's only played 2 games, so it's not a large sample size. But that's kind of what they're doing is we're just going to scramble on the perimeter. We're going to get the ball out of these great pick and roll ball handlers' hands and funnel everybody inside. If they want to start driving, we'll let Rudy, kind of sit at the rim a little bit. So
pack him up.
Yeah, I don't know if how much that can work long term. Obviously, that remains to be seen. But that's what they've been doing to this point.
That year that you said that they like the last year that they, I guess, their highest or best defensive year was that the Jimmy Butler season?
No, it was last season.
Oh, I'm tripping. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was last season. And that's what they were doing with Carl is they were basically doubling the ball on every ball screen and forcing them
I
to
remember I
take
saw
apart
something that
offense.
year. It might have been that I think it was in the games Jimmy Butler played. They had like a really good defensive rating.
Yeah,
But
well,
I think he missed a lot of games that year or something like
that
that.
yeah, that
Yeah.
season they were the 3rd seed. Then he got injured, and then
Yeah, and he finished
the
8th.
then they ended up finishing 8th. He came back
But
like
when he was healthy, yeah, I remember when he was healthy, like y'all had like a really good defense.
Yeah, I remember they had like to win the game at the end of the season to make the playoffs,
yep,
and they end up
Nuggets
playing the
beat, right?
Rockets.
hmm
Wasn't the Nuggets that y'all beat to get in?
yep. It was the Nuggets.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. The Nuggets had missed the playoffs. That's 2 years in a row. They missed the playoffs like toward the end of the season. I think because that year Russ had won MVP. He had like a game winning
Oh,
shot.
he eliminated them, right? Yeah,
Yeah, he eliminated to eliminate them.
That deep shot, yeah.
That deep shot, and then the year after it was Denver versus Minnesota.
hmm
And then after that, I mean, but that's when you saw Denver start to improve more and more. Murray started getting better, and Jokic started getting better.
That's when I was a Jokic skeptic. Those years, I was big time Jokic skeptic those years because I remember one of my biggest.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like Jokic at first because I was like, bro, who does dude think he is? He gonna take Carmelo number? Nah, listen.
The problem I had with him back then. The problem I had with him back then, he kind of answered it because I had a problem with him being really passive as far as scoring the basketball. I felt like he would really defer like too much sometimes, or he wouldn't really take advantage of mismatches. He used to like pass OD, like he wouldn't even take shots sometimes when he should. Now it's like he kind of was forced to be like, nah, you just gonna have to be that guy because these injuries are happening. Take over, and he like yeah.
And when I really start to see him like improve at that was that playoffs when they the bubble year when they played against the Clippers. That's when I really start to see him. I'm like, this dude can be a super. Like I was like, he already a star, just everything that he can do. But he was still around like 19, 20 points a game. But when he played against the Clippers, he was a monster. And then ever since then, like the next 2 seasons we've seen him, he's won back-to-back MVPs. Like he's been playing at that level, and I think it's kind of scary, like for the league because. I mean, I won't say it's fortunate that Jamal got hurt, but it's unfortunate that he got hurt. But like Jamal, he still has room to grow, like as a player. And I don't like Jamal Murray. It's just it's for something stupid that he did with Lonzo.
Lonzo's his guy.
Yeah, when Lonzo was a rookie, then he gonna dribble the ball around Lonzo, all this crazy stuff.
I remember that.
Yeah, but like I give props what his due. I think this dude can be. Like the level he was performing at in the playoffs, and even before in the playoffs, like this dude, he takes it up a notch. Like he looks like a top 5 point guard in the playoffs.
Low key, in the regular playoffs, he actually looked like he might. I think he was outperforming Jokic in some of those.
Yeah, he was. Like against the Lakers, he was the better of the two. Against the Clippers, it's a little close. I know Jokic was kind of dominating Montrezl Harrell and Zubac and all those guys. So I may give it to Jokic, but even against when they played Utah with him and where Andrew go? Or even when they were when they played against like the Clippers, no, not the Clippers, the Jazz, when Murray and Donovan Mitchell were going back and forth with each other, like that was kind of crazy. Like they were both dropping 50-point games, and Jamal held his own and ended up winning.
Yeah, I think you're right that like Jamal kind of looked like before the injury, he looked like he was like on his way up to like potentially, growing as a player and looking like somebody for real. Like a top 20 player or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah. So Jeremiah, you did your MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. So next we got Rookie of the Year. Me and Andrew gave our picks. We both had Paolo Banchero. Did you give a full reason why, Andrew? I know I gave mine.
Yeah, I mean it was mostly because I think he's going to have the most opportunities to probably lead rookies in scoring. I think they're all going to be bad teams. Magic might be a little bit better than some of the others. Probably, I think they're going to be better than the Rockets. It'll be probably. Yeah, it mostly comes down to that. I think he's going to have the most opportunities to basically have the ball in his hands, make decisions, put up a decent stat line. I don't know if he's going to have a great rookie season. I do think he has the highest ceiling out of all the rookies, though, as far as potential star ceiling or superstar ceiling. But yeah, it comes down to that. Like, I think he's gonna lead them in scoring, and he's gonna have the most opportunities to, play make, create, and just get numbers. Because I don't think that's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be Paolo for those same reasons. I think he's going to have the most opportunity, basically. I don't see anybody who's going to keep him from starting right away. I don't see anybody who's going to keep him from – he might, probably be first or second on the team in shots. Going to have the ball in his hands a bunch. Like, they just don't really have anybody else to do that for them. So, he's definitely going to have the most opportunity. I think he's going to run away. And that's what Rookie of the Year – a lot of times it's just like, are you the leading scorer? Are you averaging a bunch of points or rebounds? You know what I mean? So I feel like
last year was probably one of the rare. Yeah, I think last year's probably one of the rare rookies of the year where that wasn't the case, where it was like actually like came down to winning, and things like that. Because usually it's like all these rookies are on bad teams, and it's you're just looking at the stats basically. But,
yeah. So for my 6 man of the year, I think me and Drew got the same guy for this, but I got the ex-Rocket. I got Christian Wood.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's because he's coming off the bench, I think he's gonna thrive in that role. Even though he's coming off the bench, I think he's gonna play like a lot of minutes. He's gonna have a good guard on the court with him at all times, either Luka or Spencer Dinwiddie. He's gonna have plenty of opportunities to score. I think he's gonna be more efficient because he having somebody more like to set him up. Then he has to go get a bucket, and he can still go do that as well. The fact that I think Dallas is gonna be a high playoff seed. I think I had him 5 or 6. I can't remember, but he's gonna go to work. And I got him winning 6 man.
Yeah, I got Wood winning 6 man as well. It's mostly because when I heard they were going to be having to come off the bench, I thought he was going to be starting when they first picked him up. But when I heard that, I'm like, he's going to get the numbers. He's going to get probably 18 to 20 points. I don't know if he's going to get and close to probably 10 rebounds. Because I remember even like that short little before Harden like ate his way out of the Rockets jersey or whatever before he really got out of here. They had like maybe 10 games, 15 games, but those games that he had with Harden like were probably the best games he has as a Rocket. Like he was averaging 20 and 10. And he was shooting pretty efficiently too. And in the pick and roll, like they were really good combo in the pick and roll. That's going to be really good with Luka. Like he's a really good. He's probably underrated how good of a finisher he is when it just like in the catching lobs and things like that. So probably. Wood just because of the role he's going to be used in, and I agree with that. Christian Wood.
Yeah, I struggle between Christian. I think I'm going to go Jordan Poole though. I just think that I think
it's a good pick.
My issue with Christian Wood is I think that the Mavs are potentially going to find out that he's really a negative defender. So my question is he going to be finishing games? Like he's not starting games. He's going to be 6 man. Are they going to be able to keep him on the floor, the last 7-8 minutes of close games and things like that? Like and if he's only averaging, say, 20, 25 minutes a night, I don't know if he's going to put up the numbers. Whereas Jordan Poole is going to play 30 minutes, probably. Like that's just, he's set in stone in the Warriors system, and he got a great preseason. Dude is balling. So I think I'm going to go Jordan Poole there.
That's a good pick. That's a great pick, actually. For me, my coach of the year, I got JB Bickerstaff for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think the Cavs going to be a much better team this year. I can't remember the exact. I think I had them 5th, but it really wouldn't. I know they could probably got to get some help with health and everything, but wouldn't surprise me at all if they're like a top 3 seed. I think like the addition of Donovan Mitchell is going to help with that. He's already a good coach. They're going to be a great defensive team, and I think they like coach of the year usually doesn't go to like the best coach in the league. It just goes to the coach who like surprises you, something like that, or does something like unexpected. And if definitely if Cleveland is like a top 4 seed, something like that, or top 5, whatever, if they're having a great regular season, he's going to be right in that conversation. He can win it. So that's who I got.
For this one, so last year I actually had Taylor Jenkins. I thought he should have got it. He didn't get it, which I thought was
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised because remember we had a conversation. I thought Monty Williams was going to get it only because he didn't get the year before.
Yeah, you did.
I would pick Taylor Jenkins this year, but I don't think the Wolves. I don't think the Grizzlies are going to be as good as they were last year. So I don't know if they're going to give it to him if they take a step back, even if like they, are able to right the ship with these injuries that they have right now. I don't know if that's going to be enough. So I'm probably going to say Chris Finch. I think that the Timberwolves are going to have a much better season. They're going to win a lot more games. They're going to be higher in the standings. Yeah, I think that probably is the most reasonable pick. I don't think that Steve Kerr is going to get it again. I don't think Doc is going to, even though I have the Sixers as the 1 seed, I don't think he's going to get the credit because I think Doc is overrated as a coach, and I think a lot of media members know that Doc's overrated as a coach. If you hear the way the media talks about him, they kind of know that he's not that guy. Like when it comes to making adjustments.
Yeah, I don't think I don't even think they're gonna look at him because he's kind of on a hardened level. Like we want to see what you do in the playoffs. That's kind of how they look at Doc Rivers.
Every time Doc gets brought up, he has the most 3-1 leads blown in the NBA. so even if they get the 1 seed, he ain't getting it. I don't think that. I don't want to say it's impossible, but let's say the Celtics are as good as I think they're going to be, which is the 2 seed. I guess he would be in the conversation, but I don't think they're going to give, Udoka's replacement. Coach. It's his first year being, actually being a coach. So I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, I think the most sensible pick. Monty Williams already got it last year. Based on how I have them finishing, Nash is not going to be in the consideration, obviously. Yeah, I think Chris Finch is just by process of elimination. The teams I have that are going to be at least somewhat in that upper echelon, at least top 4, top 5. Chris Finch seems like the most reasonable pick for me.
So. Yeah, I struggled. I almost picked Chris. He's my runner-up. I think him and Willie Green potentially are going to be in a race. Those are guys have finishing second.
Great pick, Willie Green.
But I think I'm going to go with Mike Malone. I just think the Nuggets are going to be the 1 seed in the West. I think I'm projecting them to have the best record in the league. I don't think Mike hasn't won one, has he?
No.
I was just going to ask that. I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
But Denver's kind of been a pretty good team since the moment he got there. So maybe from the media perspective, maybe he's due for one. But again, I just feel like yeah, he was the runner-up before. Yep. I just think the Nuggets are going to be the best team in the West, potentially the best record in the league, and it's going to be hard not to give it to them in that situation, especially if you end up not giving the MVP to Jokic. Then I think that makes it more likely you give the Coach of the Year to Mike Malone. So, but him and Chris Finch, to me, those are my top 2. Willie Green at 3. Yeah. I think either one of those 3 could probably win it if the teams are as good as I think. But I think I'm going to go with Mike Malone.
Yeah, that's
I think
a good pick.
The Clippers have the best record, I think the Clippers have the best record. I think Willie Green's probably definitely going to get it.
You mean the Pelicans?
Pelicans.
I'm tripping. What the hell? That's Tyler. I'm tripping. But the Pelicans. If the Pelicans have what y'all, if the Pelicans are good as y'all say they're going to be, then yeah, I think.
I think Willie Green is a really good coach though.
Yeah,
I think he is. And I'm seeing a pattern of GMs hiring coaches that used to be players, and it's been working out. Like we see with Ime Udoka, well, technically not working out now, but that's just off the court thing. But Willie Green, we have yet to see with Darvin Ham with the Lakers. I think Darvin Ham is gonna help make the Lakers compete, but I hope so. But yeah.
Well, damn, there you go.
Glitch out again.
Tragic.
Almost done, man. Almost there. All right, there he is.
Yeah.
But yeah. So lastly, we have our most improved player of the year. The player I think is going to be.
Let's do one more after this scoring title.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, most improved. The guy who I think is going to be first time All Star. We got Tyrese Maxey. I mean, I love watching this dude hoop. I mean, it's a big predictions for him to be a first time All Star, but usually guys who win most improved, that's when they become an All Star. Like if you look at recent history, it was Ja Morant. The year before that, can't really remember who won it, but usually that's when they kind of break out. It was Brandon Ingram his first year in New Orleans. It was I'm looking back on some years, but I remember it was Paul George. And I really think Maxey is going to take that lead. I think he's going to be the clear number 3 over Tobias Harris. He's going to have a lot of opportunity, I think, to be efficient, given the fact that he has 2 stars on his team and one who's completely unselfish and doesn't mind him going for 20 a game, in Harden, and he's going to have spacing and everything, and and Doc Rivers is a coach who can help put him in position to, be successful throughout the regular season, and that's why I think he's going to get a lot of attention, especially from the media in Philly. So I got Maxey. I think he worked out hard this offseason, and that's who I got.
Low-key, he's probably like one of the most underrated players in the league if you really look at it. Like a lot of people don't even talk about him, but he actually like last year to me he was already the 3rd best player. Like
I think
Tobias.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna be like solidified. Like like for sure.
For me, it's Jalen Green. And the reason, I think he's already shown in this preseason.
I hope so.
He's looking like he got that potential. But the main reason why is because after his rookie season, because it started off so bad, those first 30 games, the media was so. He had a lot of preseason hype last year, and then the media was so low on him after because he started the season so bad. He picked it up last couple months, but it wasn't close to the way Barnes and Mobley was playing for the bulk of the season. So a lot of people are pretty low on him going into this year. People weren't paying attention to how well he ended the season. And I feel like what we're about to see going into this, he's going to average, to me, 20-plus games, probably 23, 24 points per game I'm seeing this year. And efficiently. I think he's going to be an elite finisher. He already was an elite finisher. But I think he's going to be an elite, high-volume three-point shooter.
Do you think he's going to be an all-star?
No, absolutely not. Because we're going to win, I think at most we win 30 games. But I don't think that matters for most improved, right? Most improved, you don't need we see guys win most improved all over the place, so it don't really matter.
I don't know. I mean, let me see. Let's look at the previous winners. That's the only thing. I do think Jalen Green is going to improve mightily, but
the main reason why I think he's going to get it is because the numbers he's going to put up this season compared to last season. I think he averaged 17, 3 and 3 or something like that last year.
Yeah.
And that was playing half the season pretty terrible for half the season, right? I feel like we're gonna see the second half of last season. An even better version than second half of last season, Jalen Green, for the bulk of this season. And that's going to be a guy that's averaging at least 23 points per game, maybe more.
I can read off the winners. I can read off the winners this from last year. So you got Ja Morant.
Hold on. So Ja Morant should not have won that award. That was so cute.
No, you're right.
He shouldn't have gotten it.
See, but this might. I think it kind of stayed true though. He did improve mightily.
No, he did improve, but it was still the levels because who was
I guess because he improved to almost MVP caliber level, which is kind of unprecedented.
I thought Darius Garland should have won it last year.
Yes, that's who I was thinking. Yes, Darius.
Yeah, I had Garland and Jordan Poole in that mix, but Garland for sure. Garland for sure.
Yeah, to me, either one of those dudes, Poole or Garland, made more sense to me because like they
But
were
but
like
even looking at Garland, let's say we say Garland should have won it. Garland was a first time All-Star, and he made and his team was they should have made the playoffs. They faced injuries, but then you look at the year before that, Julius Randle. That's when he had that great season. Knicks made the playoffs. Brandon Ingram, he was.
that was a bad team though, right? They weren't good though. He was first.
They were
I think though.
Yeah, he made the All-Star team though, and they were like a play-in team. You had Pascal Siakam the year Toronto won the championship. The year before that, it was Victor Oladipo. That's when they won 7 games with the Cavs. 2017, it was Giannis. I think they went 6 or 7 games with Toronto in the first round or something like that. He was an All-Star. Year before that, it was CJ. I don't think CJ ever made the All-Star team.
No, he hasn't.
But I think Portland made the playoffs 2016 for sure. And then year before that, Jimmy Butler. 2015, they went like 6 games with Cleveland that year. Before that, you got Goran Dragic. And then you got Paul George the year before that. So I don't know. I think either their teams are like they play like a really good team that made the playoffs, or they like first time All-Stars. So it's kind of hard for me to see Jalen Green win it, but we'll see if he makes that huge leap. It's kind of maybe hard to deny.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to get it based off. I mean, my argument would be based off the numbers improvement from this season compared to last season. But yeah, I don't think that he's going to. And I think that the numbers on paper will be all-star numbers, but I don't think that. I mean, it's the West. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like even if there's no way you can't be on a team that bad and make the all-star team. So yeah, I mean that's I mean it's very rare, right?
Yeah.
I guess so Ingram, you said that they were playing team when he made it.
Yeah.
Yes, I guess that would probably be the closest. But or when he made the All-Star team, but yeah, I mean, but we'll see.
Yeah,
the Rockets oh my bad. Go.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm done. I'm pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say this one was probably the toughest pick for me. I feel like there's like a handful of guys I go with. Just the names. I considered Tyrese Maxey. I just think that last year, what did he average last year? I think he might be in a Josh situation where he was almost too good. Like typically
he's around like
comes
16, 17.
Yeah, so
I think
he was 17.
So
like, I can see him around like 20 plus.
Yeah, I think let's say he goes from like say 16, 17 to like 22. I don't know. Is that a big enough jump? I just typically MIP outside of last year goes to like dudes who like kind of came out of nowhere. Like nobody really expected him to really.
Yes.
Damn.
I just think that typically it usually goes to guys who like the media kind of doesn't really see coming. For that reason, I think I'm gonna go Jaden McDaniels. I think he's got. If we combine, I just think if you because last year he was in single digits, like 6.5 points a game or something like that. I think if he can get into double digits, let's say 12, 13, I think he has a chance potentially to at least be in consideration for like an all defensive team. So let's say he gets, he's in a race for that, gets all defensive, maybe third team, second team, whatever. And he's averaging 12, 13 a game, I think. Especially because I feel like he kind of, like us hoop heads who kind of know about him. But I feel like the national media, I mean, the Wolves aren't anybody to be talking about anyway. So a lot of the national media doesn't really. But now that the Wolves will kind of be on TV more often, dudes will be paying attention to him. So I think if you combine, great defense, he can get to 12, 13 a game. His handle's a lot better. He's improved. He looks good in the preseason. I think I'm going to go with Jaden.
Yeah, that's a bit of a surprise, but we'll see. I like Jaden McDaniels too, so it'd be nice to see the war, moving like a different direction. Like yesterday, you picking somebody who, there you go, Drew. You picking somebody who's gonna be on like a losing team, but that can improve, and Jeremiah's picking a guy who's going to be not even like a fourth option on his team, maybe, but can have a huge impact. All right, we're gonna try to wrap this up for Jeremiah, for this app get the glitching again.
Crazy, but
so
yeah, moving on to
so for my scoring title, I got Kevin Durant winning it. I think he's gonna feast a lot in transition. I think playing with a guy like Ben Simmons is gonna like make his scoring opportunities easier. He's gonna get more transition buckets probably than he's had since playing with like Russell Westbrook or something like that. And I feel like he's already like one of the best scorers of all time, and he possibly could have won scoring champion last year if he qualified and if he was healthy. He was at like 29.9 or something like that. So I think KD, he's just a bucket. He's not gonna be faced like some intense Boston Celtics defense every night, So bucket's gonna be easy to come out for him as always. So I got KD.
I got Giannis. Giannis is like always going to be up there. He hasn't. I don't think he's ever gotten a scoring title so far. He's not going to get an MVP again. I think he's pretty much out on the MVP. It's possible, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to get it. So I'm going to go. Yeah, he's going to lead the league in score. He's going to be putting up crazy stat lines every single night. Obviously,
Giannis he's major always sweat like too.
Yeah, he's a major sweat. He's always like he's been in like the top 3, I think, like the past 3 seasons or something like that. So and he got edged by Giannis. By Embiid barely, right? So yeah, I think he was like 29 point something, and Embiid was just like 30, barely over 30 or something. So, and I think Embiid's scoring is going to take a step back this year because of the return to form somewhat of Harden and the step forward that Maxi's going to take. So I'm gonna go with Giannis, and only reason why I'm kind of out on the KD thing, on him leading and scoring or getting the scoring title or whatever, is because you have to play like a certain amount of games to qualify for it, I believe. And I don't know if KD's going to play enough games to qualify. I think you got to play like 60 games or something, which he might play 60. But I think
it's about like 58, 57, something like that. Okay,
so yeah, that's the only thing I'm not sure if he's going to play enough. But he could. I wouldn't be surprised. KD been there and done that so many times. So Giannis.
Yeah, I almost went KD just because of the Ben Simmons factor. Like you said, I think in transition and just the way they're using him in the half court, like coming off a Ben Simmons screen, there's going to be nobody there because everybody's sagging off, so he's going to get free jumpers galore. I think I ended up going with LeBron. I just think that Lakers aren't going to. The Lakers in my opinion, aren't going to be that good. I think LeBron's going to be feeling the pressure of not trying to miss the playoffs twice in a row for the first time in his career. So I think if they're probably going to get to like the All-Star break, maybe they're like a 10-9 seed, just fringe, barely making a play in, and he's going to decide it's time to kick it into gear and do, carry the load at that point. And last year, him and Joel were going at it until he got injured. He ended up playing like 56 games or something like that last year. But he averaged 30 last year too. So I just think that if the Lakers are going to be any good and make the playoffs, they might need LeBron to average 30, 31. So
that's going to be really bad news right there.
It is. It's bad news. If LeBron's leading scoring, it's bad news. But
for a LeBron fan, for his his overall
for his
statistic, legacy and everything, I wouldn't mind it. I'd be like, oh, that's LeBron's second scoring champion. But as a Lakers fan, like, I don't want to see LeBron have to try hard. Like, I want to see AD win the scoring champion. Like, personally, but we'll see how that work out. But So, last but not least, we have our finals predictions. My teams I think gonna meet in the NBA Finals. Representing the Eastern Conference, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. And representing the West, the Lakers. No, I'm just playing. I got the Denver Nuggets. I think this is gonna be the year that that they're healthy. They have a great team. They have great pieces, great coach. They have a top 2 player. I think Jokic is like number 2 right after Giannis. We're gonna have the best player in the league matching up with the second best player in the league, and it's gonna be a battle. And that's my finals matchup right there, man. Got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Denver Nuggets.
All right, so for me, I'll even go into my conference finals as well, real quick. But yeah, I have in the conference finals East, I have the Sixers and the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I got the Sixers knocking out the Bucks and scoring leader Giannis.
Shock.
Hey, no, hey, but we have the Sixers taking out the Bucks to go to the NBA Finals, and I have in the West, I have the Warriors and Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, with the Clippers taking out the Warriors, knocking out the defending champs, and then I have that's going to be my NBA Finals in the 76th year. In the 76th year of the NBA, the 76ers will make the NBA Finals. It's the 76th year. And the Clippers will make their first NBA Finals in franchise history, where they will then go on to lose to the Philadelphia 76ers in the NBA Finals.
Oh,
all right.
Losing, okay.
That's my prediction.
That's
my NBA Finals.
Necessarily make my prediction, but if I'm going to choose, I got the Bucks winning again.
Bucks over Nuggets? Okay.
Yeah, I think the Bucks over the Nuggets, but all those teams can make it, like you said, like Sixers, the Clippers, the Warriors.
Yeah.
I think Brooklyn can still make it. Gonna be a fun season. Yeah, so it was a fun episode. We faced a lot of technical difficulties, but we got a lot. I want to thank Cecil and Jeremiah for coming again. We should make sure y'all give them guys a follow on Instagram and TikTok. We should put it back down in the description. Their links. Make sure y'all check out a previous episode that we posted about the Draymond Green and Jordan Poole situation, and our analysis on Victor Wembanyama. It's gonna be a fun season. We'll have some great episodes coming. I appreciate y'all. And also follow us on Instagram, our new Instagram page. Just at Double Dribble Pod on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Just at Double Dribble Pod on Instagram. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Coming for the episode. Peace out.
Yes, sir. We out.